It's not ready for much, admittedly.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, I'm now running seniors D&D.
Oh, nice.
What? Yes.
Well, say hello,
I
internet.
didn't realize. Hello.
Hello, internet.
Hello, internet.
I think the world will love to hear about your forays into mature D&D.
Yeah.
Vintage.
So the
Vintage players.
yes,
Wait, what?
the nonprofit I'm a part of has a Learn to GM program, and they didn't really know where to put me because I don't really I'm new, but I'm experienced enough with the rules and I've been playing for so long that I don't really need to learn. I just need experience doing it more. And so they didn't really know what to do with me for joining because they're like, it doesn't make sense for you to go through the program, but it also doesn't make sense for you to be a full-on mentor because you haven't GM'd at Gen Con like all of us have as Midwesterners. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I
I'm gonna be
mean,
right back.
there's
Fael is howling.
You suck.
Oh.
I mean, there's some merit to knowing your audience. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far as Gen Con being an esteemed marker of quality,
Right.
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's too
Well,
Yeah.
GMing for public, we will say.
sure.
Yeah. It's a different vibe.
I'll
But
give that. Yeah.
anyhow, there was a group that I don't really know what happened. Because they started I think there's 3 or 4 different groups, who they each would take turns GMing for each other in the same campaign, and switching off each week or every 2 weeks or so. And one of those groups had one person leave and possibly drama with someone else. I don't really know the details, but
Nice.
they were.
You don't want to.
They no longer had the right guidance, and they all were very low experience level when they were trying to mix it up, but somehow the people who stuck with it, no one knows what's going on. And so they're like, we want to keep going, but we don't have a person anymore. And so they're like, Amanda, why don't you just hop into this group? And
No pressure.
I think so I'm gonna do the first couple rounds, and then I'm gonna join as a player and be part of their group in a hybrid mentor / player role.
Right.
And I'm not sure, the third person couldn't join, but the 2 ladies who joined are both 60 plus, and they were like, we're retired and we want to play D&D with our friends because what else are we gonna do? And I was like, that's awesome.
I love it.
That is
Yes.
that is choice.
I want to retire so I can play D&D with my friends. So I relate to
Right.
this.
Yeah. And
One of my volunteers at work, no names, but it came up recently where we were just chatting, and she's like, and she's retired too. She's basically telling me I'm gonna do this. She had a task to do, and she's like, I'm gonna do this Monday because we're meeting with my D&D group boat nights this weekend because there's some stuff that we need to get done. So so I was like, yeah, tell me more. It sort of came up on the topic, and I found out she's one of the OGs, started playing in the 70s.
Yes!
And
Nice.
3 members of that group have been playing on and off games since 79.
Nice.
That's the year of the corn. What
Dude.
the fucking shit?
This is what I want for my life.
Legit.
Can they bless stuff for us? I think they
Yeah,
have that
right.
ability at this
Right,
point.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I guarantee this lady
They're-
can.
They've got serious epic levels.
I got some dice
Bless
I
Yeah.
need her to
My dice.
christen.
Yeah.
That's
But I was like, this is what I want for my life. Can I
Goals.
just take you as my mentor
I
now?
want to be you when I grow up.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so great.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's already one lady who got really excited because she was like, I don't know if I want to play a healer or a fighter. And I was like, why not both?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That is the best answer as a DM, because then it reduces their ability to do either,
yes, that's
crippling
right.
themselves, which is what you
You're a
want.
cleric. Clerics are great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they pick a cleric, then they're a little ahead of you, but there is higher CR creatures. You can get around that. It's fine.
You're also getting the great experience of you're experiencing GM warring states right now, where like people are coming to you and they're like, "We no longer have faith in our Lord. You must. We now want to enter your service. Please guide us."
It is a strange and magical thing.
Like that.
Usually when we start a new game, I feel awful.
I relish those experiences because I know I am not bad, and so I'm like, please let me. Who hurt you? Let me fix it.
Yeah.
I think of myself as not too great, but then when I meet those people that had a bad experience, and I'm like, wait, this can be fun. Let me show you how.
Yeah, no.
And then it's just like, no, I've got confidence now. It's not that bad.
I feel like shame and like regret on behalf of that dumbass. I'm like, I'm sorry that my people hurt you. We're not all like that.
Tell me how we can make it better.
Let me show you a better way.
That's right.
And then I crushed them.
I can show you.
And then you crushed them.
More
Have
gently.
you ever actually TPK'd a group?
Well, I dropped 2 players on my first session of my Saturday game. So that was cool.
Like permanent, as in
No,
you failed to save?
they're all clerics. I'm gonna need to drop a Tarask on them, even though they're level 3.
Oh, yeah,
that's but we'll get there. You got to give them a few sessions for that false sense of security. So yeah, we'll see. You guys know better. I've tried to put werewolves up against y'all that you could totally handle, and you guys are just like, nope, out.
Hey,
Great.
we're all secretly the cowardly lion, but yes,
No, but like half of us have actually run games before, and we have enough experience to know that. Wait,
This could be bad, or this could be worse.
we had a closed call a bit. I want to say like maybe the last fight of the Zelda game was.
Oh yeah, that
was,
one.
Oh, my character was very, very glass cannon in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, Valenta was amazing, but also who hit her once, she died.
And then in the vampire game just recently, Jimena turned into Jimena. You're all just one person, Megan. I'm sorry.
Yes. What happened? I wasn't listening.
In the vampire game where I turned Bill into one of those swarma sticks that you just slide the meat off of.
Oh yeah.
Rude.
And then, thank you. And then poor Mrs. Sterling, was over it.
Dude, I was going so bad last week. Holy shit.
That was great.
Yeah.
I really hope that.
Good job.
Thank you.
We'll see if I can
accuse yourself.
Just
That's right, Rabbit. You just increase the CR under the pretense of presenting a challenge, and that's how you get it.
Exactly.
It's easier to scale down, so don't be afraid to go up.
Yeah.
But good times.
So far, this is a very easy. Yeah. So far, it's a very. They wound up picking the same game I'm running for Glenn's friends.
Nice.
So I was like, cool.
Good practice.
I feel great about that. But I might definitely scale up because there was like this big intro of like a big deal about this orc bodyguard crazy thing, and he had like 10 hit points, and I was like, wait a second.
Oh man, fudge that.
Just punched, just like one hit killed the it was a big deal. Okay, fine game. I think it was trying to set up the story of like there was some more threatening enemies in the room that were being secretive and ran away, and they're supposed to like pay attention to them more. But
Right.
Now I get to change things.
Yeah, no,
HP
that
is the
is
easiest thing to fudge
that
because
is
most
your
people
creative
don't keep
license.
track of it. You're like, that seems like enough.
Yeah, and if they're saying no, I've read the monster manual, then you can say no metagaming, son. Sit the fuck
Right.
down.
That's right.
This one.
That's right. Z Bashu has a great video on tweaking monsters, where you basically make them like a little more OP, but you give them like what's the opposite of resistance? Vulnerability
Yeah.
Yep.
to like you know a damage type, sort of replicating that sort of classic either video game or fairy
Yeah.
tale
Or then you
situation.
have them roll some sort of in skill to figure out which one it is.
Yeah. And then your players feel smart for being like, oh, we use ice on the fire monster, yeah, and it's great.
Is somebody like watching a video?
Yeah, I hear that too. I don't know.
Not me.
I'm hearing other audio.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
probably JC watching YouTube videos. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me see
I just
if
wanted to
can...
make sure it wasn't like me picking up radio signals on my earbuds.
Well, here,
or
let me
Right.
test it for you real quick.
It's okay, Megan. It's the
I
NSA
thought we talked
listening
about
in.
the fact that we would never talk about the metal plate in your head, Megan.
It's me, guys. It's the NSA because I'm up for citizenship in like a month and a half.
Oh
So
gosh.
No.
they're
Wow.
checking in.
Yeah.
Well, tell those guys to turn down their YouTube because
Those Canadian like assassin terrorists.
Well, I'm
That's
really glad that your citizenship won't be signed by you know what.
I know. Every time we talk about it, I'm like, "Yeah, you made it. You wrote it out."
Well,
Good job.
it was started during that administration, but then, delays caused this turn of events. So
Yeah.
sometimes,
Mixed
Yay.
blessing.
I own it.
Thanks, COVID. I mean,
I own it, man.
I still feel bad
I
saying.
told you.
Don't do
I love
that.
my
You do.
medallion that says Schwarzenegger across it. It looks like they almost had to like start going down the side. So
Wrap around.
yeah. We started putting them across and it went. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Are we actually starting now? Or is this like for real?
crew, we're here to do a job.
Mhm.
So last session, the crew returned to San Felipe after what feels like a long absence, but really was like you were off like a couple days. So you came back, gave some reports about your current situation to your employer, started planning how you were going to play your cards now that you're returning to the city with the previous captain of the guard in tow. And I think there was a list of items you wanted to cross off. There will be a public display in 2 days that Jose, well, I guess we'll call him now for the sake of simplicity, Captain Jose. He was promoted, Captain Jose.
Oh.
Sweet boy.
Basically, well, he didn't suggest it. His assistant did. Josefina suggested that there was going to be a public display, basically trying to give more power to the Prophet Sword, and that it may be a good time to sort of pull out the previous captain out of a box at that point to weaken their pen.
We need a giant cake
I was like, yeah, we gotta make a big old cake. That'd be great.
for him to pop out of.
We could do that. We can make that happen.
100%.
Yes. You probably know the right people to make this happen.
Remember not to put him in until after it's baked.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Thing that Augustina will ever make.
What movie is that from?
Adam's Family.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Getting married.
Original or values?
Oh, values.
Yeah.
Values.
As soon as you
Yeah.
said married, I was like,
Yeah.
right.
That poor girl. Hey! Oh, Gomez.
Yeah.
Goals.
Oh yeah. Always.
Mm-hmm.
These folks they're who you should aspire to be. So yeah, Scribe, I don't know if you had a list of the other items that the group wanted to tackle.
I'm sure
We were in the middle of visiting people that night, and we were just finishing up with our boss, and then we were going to go
next. I just don't know.
A heartfelt reunion between the old captain and the spineless, now spined, the spined mayor of San Felipe.
That's
an elusive beast.
And at least there's some hard cartilage now. We're not sure if there's fully a spine yet.
It's not just Jello.
Yeah.
But yeah, like next time meet with Governor Perez is what it says.
Right.
We have a list of other things.
We have to talk to that dude at Bun.
Oh, Mazabi?
Yeah.
Yeah, you set up a meeting to meet with him like the next day at your shop.
And
or at least to meet with agents of his, if not him himself.
Yeah. I thought Jimenez didn't say, but I think Megan mentioned that it might be smart to have Jimena go talk to the restaurant at that same time, so she doesn't try to kill her contact.
So that she's not there when he's there.
Right.
So that he doesn't accidentally rage punch him or something. Yeah,
That's
accidentally quotes.
Like, I lopped off his head by accident. I had a twitch.
I was like, he's already come
bring
races because he was helping her out the first time with the feather and everything. So she's like, man, he's all right.
Yeah, he's kind of an odd duck in the Inquisition, but regardless, he still wears the habit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's probably a good idea as well to keep Rodrigo away from these folks.
Yeah, no, we'll go talk to the fun people.
Yeah.
Right. Go have a sandwich.
Go buy Rodrigo a big fancy hat with a lovely plume.
Rodrigo's having a good time by that catering table right now, but Jimena, you can tell since he's been back in the city, he's like on edge. There's like a sheen to his like face a little bit, like he's sort of sweating, and he's keeping it together.
Maybe we can give him a cyanide capsule or something, just like be like, don't worry. You'll have a way out that's not their way out. Like, just, I don't know, it might help.
Oh, like, well, the last, the soldier I made not feel that way anymore is now getting married. So I can't do it with all your people too, guys.
And I mean, he's my cousin, so I can't do that with him either. But at the very least, I can pledge that if it ever came down to it, I would be the one to kill him.
Okay, because I was willing to offer as well.
Because family.
Yeah.
Should be a family thing.
Yeah.
There's a couple things here about the
I don't know how reassuring that would be, but it's an option.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's something to talk about with Governor Perez.
Oh, yeah.
I think the group hit a revelation.
I can't hear you over your YouTube.
Where
I can't see it over your YouTube.
Yeah, there's a fuzzy black thing on me.
It's our pet cat. That's sorry.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Good. Basically, you're going to try to ask the governor to pardon the crows. I believe that's on the list of demands.
Well, it does actually say that it's Usha Seraphim that you're working at.
We are going to offer them. We're going to offer them pardons in exchange for joining the guard or becoming a unit of the guard. Something that we were going to have that conversation.
Well, this is the piece.
Or maybe get Perez to pardon the crows.
So what was discussed last time is that the best way would be to get sort of a joint effort. The fear would be because Usha is sort of a little bit like defanged right now. There might be a thought of like, well, she's pardoning the crows and she's going to use them as a personal army to raise against the crown. Like, but if both of them step together and say, yeah, this is a joint decision. We feel these people, have suffered enough. We're going to pardon them together.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have asked this before, but so Perez is governor of the city, right?
He's governor of the Gran Ducado, which San Felipe is the capital of. So it's the territory.
Okay. Which Usha is also...
Usha is technically like, by the way that it normally works, is the leader, but because Odesseo as a whole is so tumultuous, the crown sent Governor Perez to sort of step in and kind of usurp her power in a way.
Yeah, they're placating her in a sense. They're basically like, your people are speaking sedition. You're still calling yourself Odesseo. This is the Gran Ducado of Gallegos. You're gonna get on with the program. So to do that, here's a governor who will be the acting power and the mouth of the crown. So,
So I'm guessing then that means that Usha has no official title. Is that how that works, or
she still has her title because they haven't fully stripped it from her. They basically appointed her a regent. That's the easiest way to do it. They're like, you're not allowed to make decisions without clearing it with this guy because he's our guy.
So she technically outranks him, but she has to get his approval for everything?
Not really.
Yep. Because she's nobility. The Grandes are all their circle of nobles.
Okay.
Right?
Tony.
Babe, what? I'm sorry.
Okay, never mind.
Bella's grooming JC right now and herself. Oh no, you're just caught in the crossfire. Yeah. Whatever gets her to pause YouTube. Cool. Good. Then if we can get Perez to pardon them, etc. And then have Usha also sign off on it. Then that might help ease those tensions and be like, ha, suckers. And then,
just planned.
And then I guess
the whole thing is that if Usha does it herself,
the
crown can see it as an act of sedition. But if Perez is in on it, he's an agent of the crown. Therefore, it's more legitimate.
Okay, so we do bring it up when we go visit Perez,
and then we filter our problems down to does the region want to be Castilian or not? So. But that's
one problem at a time.
Yeah,
right.
Well, slightly off topic, but every time John mentions the Grand Ducado, I just hear Grand Avocado, and I laugh for a good 5 minutes.
We are here for the whole avocado.
Yes.
That's right.
He's a Grand Avocado.
Shout out to Olaf.com. Sex with avocado.
My French Canadian does not help, Lisa. So
it's literally not even how you say it. It's just my brain just hears avocado. So I just thanks.
Right.
Avocado is not a normal word I hear, so I have to fix it.
Anyway, it's like the thing with that, like your brain tries to fill in with things you do know if you don't recognize something.
Right.
Exactly.
That's why you can read stuff.
It's science and shit.
Sometimes not see a flagrant typo.
Chrissy, I thought he said Nazi, but he said not see. Oh no.
You can't.
Yeah.
I'm the only white man here. You can't do that to me.
Well, okay.
Don't associate me with that.
You're not even German, even German adjacent.
Well,
According to the testing, I am hella British on at least part of me, so that's...
Yeah.
So you're...
According to his magical spit.
Yeah.
A bit
I just got commie juice because I have some Chinese in me. Oops.
That's right.
As we always knew, John, there is a portion of me that that is with you.
And every time people end a sentence with you, I just want to say, and also with you.
Yeah,
100%.
Sorry. Yeah.
No.
No, it's and with your spirit now.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I said it in French, so it's all the fucking same to me.
Oh, so you were on this train a whole lot sooner than the rest of us were.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know how it said now because I'm not going to do that for a long time.
We're more fucking stingy is what it is. It's not with all of you, just with your fucking spirit. Don't be greedy.
No, your body don't get blessings.
Right? Body's dirty. It stays down here.
Your body's made of sin.
That's right.
No blessings for that.
Hell yeah.
But no.
I'm still haunted.
Yep.
I'm still haunted by the potential curse I'm under.
Yep. Yep.
Amanda got bit by that Catholic curse. Well, she bit the Catholic curse, as it were. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Slowly eating you from the inside.
Oh God. Are you sure that's not just the feeling of guilt?
No, our Jesus is just too strong for regular Christians.
No, I flouted God's law. I accepted communion, and my body was not prepared.
There you go.
Which is dumb because in all the years that I went to Catholic school, like we were never practicing Catholics, and I took communion all the time just because I didn't want to be the one kid not taking communion. And no one ever said shit to me.
Yeah.
Hey kids, have some Jesus.
Catholic is extra.
I feel like the different denominational communion is like people grading weed. Like, man, guys, your weed alcohol is real fucking strong. So
I never liked
Catholic Jesus is way too strong for you regular Christians.
I don't like the blessings I get when I do the Catholic. No, it's a bad trip.
Ours was cut with all kinds of shit. Like,
as long as it doesn't have.
At what
it was
point does it stop being bread?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't have stems in it, you're all right. It's fine.
It's just like barely street legal host at this point.
Man, we barely...
other kinds of Christianity get the weed that you buy from like the weird kids behind the bank at your high school.
That was oddly specific.
We got ecstasy, and when I was in high school, you got ecstasy from the Vietnamese kids that hung out by the school bank.
That's sick.
Nice.
Amanda and I pretended to hold up our school bank once. We were dressed as Bonnie and Clyde for Couples Day.
True.
Nice.
There you go.
The bank lady tried to get the school police officer to let me hold his gun while we took a picture, but he wasn't having it. And I was like, I really don't want to point his gun at you, Elsa. And
it's really funny.
Yeah. So instead, I held her up with a stapler. I have the picture somewhere. I have to find it.
There is, yeah.
Right.
Some people just commit to the bit a little too much.
Yeah.
Right. When it has the risk of no longer being a bit is where you probably should turn around.
I don't want to.
This is turning into reenactment. This is not. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put our name on the walls with bullets.
Yeah. Cool.
Bullets wouldn't cost anything. Anyway.
So yeah, let's.
So let's leave Salvadora and let's head home.
Speaking of too much, let's go coerce a mayor. Oh, I thought we were going to do that this evening too.
Oh, we are? Okay,
Yeah,
let's go to the mayor.
That was going to be my question.
No, I mean,
under the cover of night.
The original plan, we're seeing the mayor right now.
Yeah.
I mean, governor. Damn it. And the Duke.
Yep.
And then tomorrow we're doing the Mizavi / Restaurante Salazar thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
His name is Duke Klaus, mayor of San Felipe.
No. Oh, put that on the
Oh,
wiki.
I love it. I love it.
He's a Tremere, and everyone hates him.
Tremere.
It's great. Yeah, because it doesn't help that Jaren has added in masquerade vampires to our other game.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
What is
Yeah.
going on here?
He's accompanied by a Highlander named Dermot McDermott.
God damn it, why is this that
That
not
will
get
never
old?
fucking go away. We cannot figure out where the Dermot goes now.
Amanda!
What?
What happened?
She's sending me old photos of me.
Hell
I
yeah.
was trying to find the. I was trying to see if searching your name would bring up that picture because
You
I know
need
it's
to
on my
throw those in
phone,
the
and I found
Discord.
that instead.
So when we
For the
used to
rest of
live
us.
together, if I fell, she would get mad at me if I fell asleep with my glasses on. And so she saw this video where some dude was like, "If you fall asleep like that again, I'm gonna." Because this dude would fall asleep with a cigarette.
Yeah.
No, he gave him the cigarette. He would fall asleep doing something, and the guy was like, "If you do that, I'm going to do this next time." And so he put a cigarette in his mouth while he was sleeping, and the guy like ate it.
Nice.
Yep.
Like just
Just like
lived,
a good,
I'm off and just ate the cigarette. And so Amanda said that if I fell asleep with my glasses on again, she'd put a cigarette in my mouth. And I don't know what this is that she's put in my mouth, but she's got a picture of it, and now I have it.
Well, that needs to go in Discord for the rest of us.
It's upsetting.
Probably not.
Upsetting. So yeah, are we done with Lady? What's her
Yeah,
name?
you're
Salvadora.
You're
Lady
pretty much
Salvador.
welcome to stay there as long as you like, but business seems to have concluded and has devolved into smaller conversations. Salvador is taking a little bit of time to get to meet both Rodrigo and Leandro a little bit more. She's exchanging some extra words with Leandro, as seems like the bargain is being struck and he's gonna officially enter her employ.
One of us.
Fucking better be.
So yeah.
I mean, we did do him a solid. I would have done it anyway.
Lisa.
Yeah. It's rude.
Yes.
She would take pictures of me asleep all the time.
Nice.
I used to do that to Ron.
Especially when I was sick. She would take pictures of me. Rude. Fucking
Nice.
rude.
Nice.
I don't know if it's especially. If you mean that I was recording how hilarious your breathing sounded because you had pneumonia or something, then yes.
Wow! I had what are friends for?
Right.
Yes.
Jerk.
Thank you, friend.
At least she didn't
It was-
Sharpie genitalia on your face, you know,
That is true.
so.
Yeah,
Never did that.
it was squeaky.
Did you get it?
No.
Rude.
So yeah, you're pretty much welcome to stick around as long as you'd like. But again, official business has concluded. So whenever you're ready to uproot and continue on with your meetings for the night, it's about, I would say, like 9:30, 10 p.m. when you exit Madame Salvadora's. The city is bustling. You can actually hear the foot traffic and the revelry further down by the dock district, sort of far into the distance, but the area you're in is solemn and quiet. Periodically, you hear the sound of boots beating the ground in small detachments, but much to your relief, you see the gray blue cloaks of the guards sort of patrolling instead of the familiar red cloaks of the Prophet's Sword.
Off red /pink, you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, red versus blue.
So your way is mostly unencumbered as you make your way to the governor's mansion. You basically get stopped up front by a couple of gate guards wearing largely ornamental breastplates over the rest of their outfits. One of them calls somebody at the gatehouse when you arrive, and you recognize one of the guards that used to be there when you came in to offer your support for the rampaging elephant situation.
Oh yeah, I knock on the breastplate of whatever guard's in front of me. Like, I'm like, hello, Mr. Mendez of Mendez y Mendez, calling on his governorship on behalf of Captain Jose.
He repeats what you say almost verbatim as the other guy like sort of approaches the gatehouse. Rethel, you distinguish just the slightest hint of a crack in his voice. Not necessarily because he's afraid, but you realize
He's a kid.
yeah, he probably cannot grow a full beard quite yet, and both of them are about the same age. These folks are fairly green, and then you sort of recall that many folks have sort of abandoned Carlos, not wanting to risk their careers and what they see as a risky move to muscle up to the Inquisition. So they probably had to replenish their ranks with some of the local youth.
They need the crows.
That guy is real willing to stick to his job. He's looking straight ahead. He does not, he's acting like I'm the rock. I will not be disturbed right now by any of this, even though this heathen is knocking on my breastplate and sing-songily telling me something. But
good start.
yeah,
It's a good start. Good for him.
There's inexperience. Clear.
Yeah, it's cute.
But yeah, the third gentleman approaches the gatehouse and immediately recognizes you. Sort of waves the two guards to get the gate open, and basically sort of scurries over and says, "Like, my apologies. Bernard Perez was not expecting you so late at night. We would have prepared a detachment to meet with you."
Oh, well, we didn't want to inconvenience anyone in the city, and we figured he'd be up, so no need to let other people in on, comings and goings, if you're not clear, the captain, good Captain Jose, should have some more details, but I think you're all right.
Yes. No, clearly. Thank you. If you would follow me, I will take it from here.
Sure. And I sort of mention offhandedly to the rest of the group that maybe we should start like a study abroad program with the guard to send them up to, send them up to the woods, send them up to the forest.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Give them some experience.
I thought you were going to send them on a quick trip to Isla de San Jose for boot camp.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's closer.
That's what I thought you were going to do.
Oh no, that is superb. Yes. Yes.
This becomes our training ground.
Oh, we can subcontract it, make some extra that government money. Yeah. Oh.
You're
exquisite.
welcome.
Oh, thank you. Take a note. Take a note of that, John. That's what's happening.
Boot Camp Island.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. You get on a
With
ship
all
with a
those there whipping people into shape.
Mm-hmm. You get on a boat with a ridiculous name, and they send you out to a shitty little island for a month.
Just to be a prison. That sounds about right.
You get hell yeah. You get screamed at from all people all over the world.
You come back from this, and you can seduce bears and break rapiers between your pecs.
Yeah. No, it's like, well, do you get like a certification or like a rank? It's like, no, you're a Jose. And it's
You're a
like,
Jose.
that's right.
Your rank is
Right.
if we give you another name after the Jose.
That's right.
You get a stack of scrolls with the certificate, and it's all the same. It's all Jose, right? It's like congratulations,
You were
Jose,
not-
That's
for
right.
graduating this program.
Oh no.
Does this game have the printing press?
That's a good question.
Yeah, there's
I
magic.
don't think
I'm sure there's printing presses.
well,
I'm
we're further
playing
along.
Assassin's Creed 2 right now, and it looks like about the right time period.
Sure.
So there's a printing press.
Sure.
There are Bibles.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You only need to create one.
It's like
one.
1440, something like that.
Yeah, you only need one plate for the completion certificate. You don't even need to fill in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut costs.
Booyah. Smooth. Love it.
You're led through the governor's mansion, and you see that inside the actual mansion, it's almost a complete flip. The soldiers that are in there look like they're older and more grizzled. So almost the complete opposite. You get led to a different area than you've met Governor Perez before. You actually go up to the second floor near the back of the mansion, which you find basically is overlooking just a little bit of the cliffside. You get the splendid view of the sea south of San Felipe from here. And you can see in the distance a little bit of the hustle and bustle at the docks area. It's just beautiful spot. The night is just cool enough. And you see that a table has been set outside with some chairs. Somebody looks busy, sort of bringing in what looks like wine, and you see a very hurried Governor Perez, like sort of rushing through one of the side doors, just wearing sort of what he probably like his evening wear, like in the house. Like he just threw a coat like over it
With like a really long night dress shirt.
Yeah, like he was clearly turning in.
That's nice.
And then get fully, back into fashion from meeting guests. But he's trying. You see his composure is very prim and proper, but he looks thrilled immediately at seeing you. There's a slight hint of apprehension.
Smart.
But
Smart.
he still looks relieved, and he just gestures at the chairs, and he's like, "My apologies. I was not expecting your visit back so early. I would have made preparations, but please sit. I'll have wine brought to us."
When there's like a opportunity, I will introduce Leandro to the governor.
Oh yeah, Leandro brings his best nobleman's manners, courtly bow, and he just proper introduction. The governor looks just thrilled at the idea of seeing him. Like there's a good hearty handshake after the bow. He says, friends of these good folks are friends of mine. You're most welcome at my table. Please grab a seat.
I believe there is a much more pertinent introduction to be made for you.
Yeah, right before that, there's the perfunctory, no one needs to know that we came out here. As far as anyone's concerned, you went to bed tonight. We get it. It's cool. And then...
Yeah. almost like as if you had rehearsed that on the way here. After you give your warning, the hooded figure approaches and Landreville sort of takes off his hood, and for a moment, Perez forgets all decorum,
Shits himself.
walks towards him. He sees the hand as he's about to grasp it, but sees the missing hand and sort of lifts a hand like almost to his mouth in shock, and you see Landreville sort of raise his other hand saying, don't. And he just grabs him in a hug. And that...
And they kiss.
Well, that hug lasts for longer than you'd expect. You hear what might be like slight sobbing. There are a few whisper words exchanged, and before you know it, Perez is just like brushing Landreville's hair and just unable to say anything else.
Nice. We got him. We got him. He is in our pocket forever now. Love it.
There's this beautiful moment, and all you care that he's in his pocket.
I mean, that's good. That's nice.
I mean, I almost said, can I read?
Oh, you're like almost crying, and I'm
No,
like,
hey,
oh, he missed it so
Can I
much.
just like, bing? Oh, that's a strong thread right
Do
there.
you really?
You don't
It's
need
like
to. All of us done read this one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, you read it, but you don't really need to.
it's like looking
It's not
at
a thread, it's a
the
straight rope.
cover of
I
a
had to hold on to Leandro's hand, going, "Oh."
it's just the cover of a Yahweh manga, and you're like, yep, I know what this book is
Yep.
about.
Yep. The thread basically tell you
Oh my!
everything you need to know, which is here are two people who were basically tied for life that had resolved that they may never see each other again.
I mean, I'm a little teary because I know how that feels.
Yep. So there's a moment.
Hear Jimena being like,
Sorry
Jenny
to kill,
Ricardo's hand like a harder squeeze.
sorry to kill the mood,
Yeah.
Lisa, but
Oh,
I
we just have
did.
feels right now.
I was worried that we might have a potential turncoat in the governor, but now I'm like, nah, we got him. He's cool. All right, we're good.
Yeah, Retold is like the pragmatist is like, good. This is good at multiple levels.
We can all win, and that's really beautiful. I agree with that.
There's a few words being exchanged, but before long, like all of it is like you're fine. I'm fine. I lost a hand. But I survived. We survived. Both of us. He sort of pulls him back a little bit and sort of looks at him. There's a measure of pride in Landreville's eyes and said, I did not think without me here that you would have the gall to stand up to the Inquisition. I'm happy to be wrong.
I mean, you're welcome, but I don't say that. It's kind of implied.
for you.
Yeah. Perez basically says, "Oh, I still don't. I am terrified, but I am on this course, and with the backing of our friends, we will either make or break this opportunity. But regardless, I am committed now. There is no turning back."
My weight creaks the little table at that sentence. And I'm like, speaking of which.
There's wine bitten broth, and Perez basically like stands still for a second, like he just forgot where he was. he sort of takes a measure of the room and he's like, "Oh, please," and he goes and pulls the seats.
Oh, I was already helping myself while they were having their moment because, like, hey, I don't need. That's cool. Like self-serve, it's all good.
They sort of sit side by side at the head of the table, and Perez basically recomposes himself, then says, While I would love if the only reason for your visit was to bring Martin back to me, I am certain there are other things you would like to discuss."
I'll just excuse myself now. Sorry.
I mean, I'm a little bit like too. So Russell, this is you.
That's fine. I'm here to let the moment breathe. It's fine. It's good.
I mean, Jenya is not having this reaction. This is 180% me.
No, yeah. Jenya did the hand squeeze and was like, "That's nice," you know.
That's it. That's all. That's all she had. Oh,
Right.
Oh God.
Jimenez here for it. Love it. So yeah, once that like bubble pops, you know, in the room or in the space, I'm like, so I think I found a way to increase your manpower exponentially and also take a problem off of your back and potentially, and we have individuals who can discuss this with the other party involved, ease tension between yourselves and the Grande.
The avocado.
He sort of pauses and like pulls back into his chair a little bit and says, "You know, I will not even ask questions at this point. I will just let you expound. The last time we had a chat like that, you told me you could get rid of an elephant, and you did. So
We did
whatever
not get rid of the elephant. We let him go home.
Yeah. Martin like sort of clears his throat a little bit at that, and Perez is like, yes. My apologies, that was callous of me."
The elephant was taken care of in the good
Perez
sense
is like
of the word.
whole person now. It's like that. Wow, it's so different. Anyway.
Laville says, "Carlos, it will take time for me to be able to bear arms again. I am not putting it. I'm not putting it out of my future, but as it stands, I need to heal and recover, and will need to retrain in order to be able to adapt to my new circumstances. But you've put yourself in a precarious position for the best possible reasons. You will need the extra protection. Please listen carefully to what our friends have to say. They might be able to offer the answer to all of your prayers."
You hire the carrion crows and pardon them with Usha's blessing.
He sort of pauses at that, and then he looks
The triple
at
take.
Lagavavit is there, like sort of leaning with his like, you know, his stump on the table, and he's sort of giving him like a
Yep.
Table stump.
like,
Stump.
and he's like, and you think the Lady Seraphine will go for such an arrangement?
Well, that was the last part where we have certain individuals who are very persuasive with her. It may even be worth having a meeting on a mutual location of some sort to sort of codify the new arrangement?
I will admit that the recent stance I have taken has left me in a very vulnerable position. The Inquisition is looking at the first opportunity to oust me, I am certain. I would be very surprised if the cardinals in San Cristobal are not looking for a suitable replacement for me as it comes. But an alliance with the rightful grande of this territory would change that. The nobles would be a lot more reluctant to agree to deposing one of their own.
As well
They are
as...
spineless.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
For the most part. They're quite spineless in the sense that many of them do not have the guts to stand up to Cardinal Verdugo and the Inquisition, but they understand that standing against one of their own means they very well could be deposed next, and that sets a very dangerous precedent.
And to give a bit of reassurance, there's a pretty good chance half of the Prophet's sword in San Felipe will not be in good standing over the next few days.
That would be a blessing of Theus himself.
Oh, yeah.
He pauses for a moment and says, "The nobility and the Crown of Castile has treated the crows very poorly. Do you think they would go for such an arrangement?"
Well,
I was like, Zhenya looks at Ricardo.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm like, I think because it's not from the Crown itself, but from the government in the area, I think they'll go along with it.
Yeah, Ricardo actually takes off his hat and looks at Perez and says, "The crows were willing to lay their life on the line for this country, for whichever country they chose to serve. Not all of them are Castilian, of course, but they were willing to lay their life down during the war. They would do it again in a heartbeat. They are men and women of grit and conviction. They're only looking for the right cause to serve, and to serve a master that will honor them in return. If you provide that for them, they will fight your enemies, they will fight the church, they will fight the nobility, they will fight anybody you point your finger at." He sort of pauses and considers, and is like, this is rather unexpected. The carrion crows were always a problem to solve rather than a solution.
Yes.
To be able to do both is quite appealing.
I believe the kids call it the universe brain move.
I don't actually know, but hey.
I'm not a kid.
You see Veronica write that down.
She's not a kid either. She doesn't know. Oh, no.
No, she's been asleep for a while.
Veronica, there's a thing called memes. When you first went into your coma, it was things like long cat. Now it's shanties again.
Oh my god.
Fucking long cat.
Right?
Holy shit.
Like, we've gone way past all your base belongs to us.
Yeah, no, like, she's been out for a while.
Only like 5 years, guys.
All right,
That's
so
a
it's not
long
quite.
That is
It's
a really
a long time in internet years.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like Captain America where he's like, I get that reference. No.
Right. You're like, oh shit, that's 15 years old.
Uh,
Oh man, welcome to
Right.
There's silence for a little bit, and he basically says, if we were to do this, how best to give words to all involved parties?
well, we're not back yet. We're still out to sea wherever we went. So we have a day or two to get things coordinated, and we have means at our disposal for much quicker correspondence.
You do? Sorry, I didn't say it out loud. I just don't know what we're referring to.
You may remember our butler who can expend a bit of himself to teleport. But also, I didn't want to tell the governor that the crows are actually right in his backyard. So you know, a fast rider can get to him in a day. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to make sure he's really committed first.
You know, just covering our bases. You know, in case he gets interrogated or something.
Yeah. And he says, I assume then that you have contacts within the crows that you can leverage.
Something like that, yeah.
I will ask no more.
Shenya just learns not to speak during these things because she can't.
Right. Ricardo puts his hat back on.
I do hope that sooner than later we'll all laugh about all of this, because there's a lot.
A move like that will placate the crown, at least for a little while. It probably won't be long before they do brand us as trying to split away from the crown, especially if they see Grande Seraphine and myself standing shoulder to shoulder. What should I do? Should I embrace the liberation of San Felipe and Odesseo? You see Landreville sort of like, he's still pretty stoic, but the utterance of that word, which is usually reserved for the locals, Odesseo, almost like surprises him coming from Perez. And he says, you know the city. You know its people. Is that what the people want?
From the back of the room, yeah, speaking, yes.
I mean, yeah. Jimena has definitely the biggest say in this, since from here.
Well, technically not from here, but she has been here a long time.
Yeah, well, but you're from
Castile. Yeah.
Castile as a whole.
Yeah,
you're the only one.
I have not lived here long, but I believe the people here have a certain freedom of spirit. I think that even if not all of them realize yet this is what they would want, due to all of the fear-mongering from the prophet's swords and the like, I believe that they would want this as well.
I see.
Like Jimena kind of pipes up is like, honey, the whole reason you're here is because people wanted to not be part of, like, because they wanted to be Odesseo. You
Oh,
would
and I
that
don't
was the thing.
I know full well I am here because I am inconsequential. I am a mouthpiece for the nobles, for the Inquisition. I am my achievements
Want to be
prior
more than that, though. If
at
you are-
this point in time, perhaps. But this is why I was assigned.
I understand. I'm just saying, you could be the great liberator of Odesseo. How cool would that be?
He sort of considers it for a moment, and like he stands a little straighter and then looks like infinitely tired.
That's correct. That's
And
the
then-
correct mood.
He says there was probably a time where this would have sounded like my life's commitment coming into fruition just to prove everybody wrong. But I will admit, I am tired. The infighting has taken its toll. Grande Seraphine is a admirable lady, and my position has put me at odds with her constantly. So I don't think I aspire to be the liberator or savior of Odesseo. But if Odesseo desires independence, can there be a place for me at this table?
You're halfway there.
Will the Grande welcome me, knowing what I have come here to do and have done?
I suppose ultimately it is her that will tell you that, but I think we have some weight in convincing her the rest of the way, should she have any doubts.
And being halfway there, I'm sure will adjust the opinion, especially if you get the other half.
I've spent the last few years stemming the tide, telling the people of this Gran Ducado what is their best interest, despite what they are saying. I've quelled rebellions, I've let the church take a foothold in an effort to help quell criminals, heretics, rebels, you name it. I'm tired. And I'm ready to really listen to what the people of this area have to say. I have come close to losing it all now, and that gives certain perspective.
I do have one question for you, if I may.
Please.
You have seen what in recent times specifically what this Inquisition has done here under that Juarez. You must have seen or felt that it has changed for the worst.
Yes, of course.
It may not have originally seemed so bad, but now that they have the Mandavi helping them.
Make no mistake, when Juarez and Mazabi were sent to us, it was clear that things were going to turn this way.
Well,
I was given a mandate to keep order in San Felipe, not to make its people happy, not to give them what they want, not to listen to their plight and try to find solutions. I was sent to maintain order. And this is what the Inquisition will try to do by any means, even if they have to start killing San Felipe's
But
people to make it happen.
I am not asking what you were sent here to do. What do you now, and this moment, think is right?
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't see why both can't be served. Increasing your manpower by hiring mercenaries will calm things down.
I understand.
And if it's a personal issue, you sleep much better when you're firm in your convictions.
I mean, I'm mostly trying to get a feel for him. And hey, if I can...
Marilena, was it?
Yes.
Your question is very much with merit. And my answer is simply this. What I believe is right at this point is no longer relevant. It is time for me to let the people of Odesseo decide their own fate. That is what I will support.
That's a good enough answer for me.
I'm an outsider, and I've spent the last few years not listening to what these people want for themselves and their families. It's time we give that voice back to them. I'm fully aware that making that move, I will lose the respect of most of the citizenry, but that is quite fine. The Grande has the loyalty of most of the population, and she can lead them.
I was trying to see if I had his what do you call those things?
Well, I'm sure you read them at some point in time.
I'm sure I did too,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't know what it is on here. So
When we talked to him about the elephant, I'm sure. If you went with us, maybe you weren't there for the elephant conversation. Maybe you were at work.
I think I was there, but
Yeah,
She was. John's just gonna tell her the answer.
Yeah.
but if like easier for him to get it for me than for me to look at hundreds of pages of notes, handwritten notes, is that at that,
right.
or at least like you have fewer pages to look at than I do.
Well, in this spot at least.
Mhm.
I think if that sort of concludes the conversation, then we would be like, I know you're loath to change company at this moment, but we've all got long days tomorrow. Some of us longer than others, as some people need to may need to do lots of paperwork for the pardoning of a large number of individuals all at once. In the meantime,
Yeah. Did you find it?
Pull it up.
Well, anyway, because it doesn't really matter right now.
Yeah,
One thing I would consider doing is changing some things around if necessary.
and then, of course,
Not
reaching out to get confirmation from those various parties to ensure everyone's on the same page. So, and it's not going to get any darker after this hour. So,
Now, you've given me much to ponder, but let's part on this. You have my trust. You have brought back what is of most import. So whatever path you choose to tread, I am ready to follow.
I sort of keep my eye on Londreville as he's saying that, and I'm like, okay.
We brought his boyfriend back. He's so thankful.
I mean, hell yeah. Like,
We got so many approval points just now. It was like plus 100.
I was like, oh, should we leave Londreville here? Like, should we take him back with us?
yeah, you know.
No, we're not taking him back. That's gonna happen.
Lots of time.
Yeah,
They need alone time.
We were gonna hide him, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Maybe just
Well, no, and that you know, I will assume that Laundreville is coming back with us to the ship that evening to stay in hiding. But if anyone mentions that he might be able to stay under wraps for the next 2 days here, then you know I'm willing to trust him with it. But you know,
Yeah, he basically says the plan is paramount right now. That said, if you allow me this one indulgence, I will remain and meet you at the ship a little bit later.
yep,
Take your time.
all right.
Jace.
Jenny's like, oh, he's got things to do.
Yep.
Yeah, he
And
does.
then I was absolutely
Yeah,
with
so
you.
much
Like,
paperwork.
"Take all
All
the
the paperwork.
time. We'll leave you alone. Good night.
Just
We're
awful.
just gonna slide out the door.
Okay, night. And then,
Yep. Just like gliding out.
Mm-hmm. Gives them a little like wink and a wave as she closes the door behind her. Don't stay up too late.
Yeah, you get escorted by the same
Shock.
officer back to the gate where the two youths are still standing straight.
Excuse me, what? What
Right.
is a ute?
the urge to like fuck with these two kids is too strong. Like I just want to like bark at them or something. You know, just
Right? Feel welcome.
no. I'm sure the lieutenant here does well enough to try and get him into shape. Yeah.
Jenny's over here like, ugh, Rethel's such an only child. It's so obvious.
Eh,
Yeah.
yep.
So back to the ship.
Yep.
For tonight.
Oh, we're not staying with Augustina, and we're not going home. We're staying on the ship.
Yeah. We gotta
Okay.
stay hidden.
We can't like make it known to the city that we're
Oh,
here.
well, I mean, I can get anywhere I want unnoticed. So
No, and
Yeah.
you know,
That
if you
is
wanna
true.
go say hi, you're free
Yeah.
to. But you know,
If anyone decides they want to swing by the house.
I'm hella obvious, so I can't.
no.
You can totally crow it. I'm probably gonna just go back to the ship.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
Oh, I need to make
if we're going back to the ship, we're going back to the ship. She's not gonna veer course.
it.
It was just, oh, we're not going home. Okay.
Right?
We're not home yet.
Not quite yet.
Yeah, we're still out at sea.
Ooh, yay! One more night in that swinging bunk off a random shaft.
Yeah, well, two
Hey-o.
more nights. Because tonight and tomorrow.
Tony.
What?
No.
You can put like some mats on the floor. We're just birthed. It's not like, you know, it's fine.
You can probably sleep in the actual like warehouse if you feel like it, like on actual land.
It was like, yeah, because Shania doesn't like being off land.
Right.
That's
Yeah. But that space has been, in fact, when you return to the ship, you find that Matteo has done fairly well and has assigned basically like a part of the warehouse to the unloading of your merchandise. So it's sort of corded off so it doesn't mix with the merchandise of the other ships. There's plenty of spots for you to set up like a little makeshift camp between rows of crates and
Just pretend they're trees. It's fine.
There's a 2x2 patch of dirt that you can just
right, like just sit on top of it and just be like,
That's the shit.
this
No,
is
not
nice.
just to be like, Johnny Depp and carry a jar of dirt with me everywhere we go. I am the Stacy. It's me.
Yeah, let me see.
Just need my jar of dirt, guys.
You're Asuran dirt.
Mm-hmm. Which like I said, I'm positive she has. Like,
You have some of it in there.
Yeah. Of course, it's probably in a jar in her pack.
Yeah.
So
Jenny like has like a makeshift little terrarium.
Aw, cute.
yeah.
Like it's a jar of dirt and rocks, and it has like little like bugs in it.
She has an
Put in
ant farm.
a stick with a leaf.
Producer and ant farm. Ooh, what a fun band.
A stick with a leaf to simulate habitat.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Ship one day.
Any business you want to attend to this evening?
We have attended to plenty of business, I think.
Yeah.
It's about midnight. Your crew, like many of them, have already gone to bed.
How's Lavinia?
Oh, yeah.
She just silently following us around.
Yeah.
Just silently follows around. If you don't give her like any like specifics, like she just follows creepily and silently. Just hands folded like in
Veronica.
at least. Yeah. She's standing with Veronica and it's like you actually catch your sister like a couple times, like basically like with her quill, like just being like
Touch.
yeah, like just trying to. And at least on one occasion, she's like, would it be impolite, just out of worry, if I like checked if she has a pulse?
I mean
I'm not sure she breathes.
I mean, if this is Sir and Jenny turns back and goes, I do think it's impolite to touch her without her permission. But if it's in care, I suppose it's okay.
Well, that's why I ask. I never know without those Saraner. Like if I was back home, it would be, I would just explain myself as I'm doing it, but I don't know.
If she falls down, I think it's fair game. But if she's still walking, I think it's okay.
I think part of her is like burrowed into the ground. I don't know if she can fall. Like she's straight as a post.
Goodness.
These
I will
boots
have to learn this.
feel uncomfortable too. I don't know.
My poor thing.
I should probably sit down with her at some point, but it's late. We can do it another day.
It's nap time.
Evine, what are you up to tonight?
Uh-oh.
What am I up to? That's the question I've been asking myself.
Evine's
Now
having
return to the warehouse.
on the crow's nest of the ship.
Uh-huh.
You want to go spy on some Manjavis?
I think it would probably be worth giving some sort of, like, at least writing down some sort of communication as an update to, the guard and all that as to what's going down. But I don't know that she's gonna go run off and mail it tonight, but
Right.
composing it.
you staying at the ship right now? You venturing down? Okay. Roll me a. Let's go with the alertness.
I was like,
You mean notice?
Notice, sorry.
Of course.
Moment of the night where we don't know which D10 system we're playing. So,
I say it might be
Just-
creepy for Ravine, but
I
Lavinia
thought about it too.
nothing. In
You got it wrong.
One of my players in another game keeps calling me out when I say knowledge in front of a skill in 5e, and I'm like,
Yep.
whatever. 3-5 had it.
I still say it.
Whatever.
I still say like knowledge skills.
Right?
It's the same. It's the same ability base attribute. So whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Roll your chump.
Straight alertness or I mean straight notice or
Notice.
Wits notice.
No, let's go with wits notice.
okay.
Okay, the wit is there. Okay. Let me check it. I love you.
Yeah,
Oh boy. It's gonna
You
take
know
me a bit.
I know.
Bullshit my way through life like it's my job.
I mean, you do English like you do lots of things. Faking it until you make
That's right.
it.
Well, in my case, it's more fake it though you fake it, but you know.
You're just making these sounds. You don't know what they mean.
how many 10s do you have exploding?
Yes.
Four?
Yeah.
So many times.
Okay.
Well, she's gonna start looking into that like space between time again.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's that's gonna be this roll.
Yeah, at the corner of your eye, you see an arrow that seems to pierce through the heavens. Like it's there and then it's not. It's going somewhere really important, though.
Get a rainbow.
It's comforting.
That's an 11.
11?
Yeah.
What do you see with your EV eyes?
You're on the ship. Are you up in the crow's nest? Are you on deck?
I think she'd be on deck. Probably get kind of cramped in that little nest. Nothing's going on.
Right. You walk around on deck and saw the crew. Sometimes they say hi when they can see you. Like sometimes they just pass you by as if you weren't there at all.
Yep.
But
I feel like it's a bingo game for the crew. Like
was that?
I feel like it's a bingo game at this point for the crew. Like
yeah.
how I'm like, oh, I saw her on the deck. Mark that out for me.
There's like a pot right now, like a sort of a gambling pot where it's like how many people are in our boss's groups, and you notice that it sort of varies by one. Like some people can swear that there's like one more, and people are like, nah, you're wrong, you're counting wrong.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just the Jose. Like they're interchangeable.
Yep.
Well, now
You found
Ricardo
yourself-
realizes he's officially part of the group, so
There's a nice breeze. It's much warmer than your home, but something about this evening, Evie, makes you sort of wistful, and you're on deck and you find yourself sort of looking half at the dock, half at the water, like in the direction you know to be the Emerald Isles.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it's there. Like you feel clear as day the pull of the growl in this direction. So there's no mistaking it. But it feels particularly strong right in this moment. And for a second, like every hair on your neck like stands on end. It smells like grass, like exactly like back home, and you know for a fact it can't smell like that out here.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And
Well, it's been fun, everyone. I'll see you later.
you're ready to go into full like assassination mode, and be like, I'm gonna vanish from sight. I'm gonna murder whoever decides to step up to me. And you see basically a form at the corner of your eyes, sort of stepping right next to you. You don't hear them necessarily coming, but you can see them. You can see the contour. You can see the sort of deep green cloak and the hat. And
Are you my elf?
you recognize the outfit of one of the knights of Elaine.
Oh.
And the unmistakable scent of glamour that was probably used to conceal their presence.
You stink of fame.
And in what you know to be the usual greeting, you hear a somewhat raspy voice tell you, "It is a good eve to face unspeakable horrors, is it not?"
Oh. I feel like I should know the other half of that sentence.
The crow does fly by morning. Yes.
Right? The other half of that is that, yes, it is a night to remember.
Okay. Well, she would know that and say,
Yes.
yes, it is a night to remember.
Wait, so is Evine the night to forget?
You get a soft chuckle, and you get a thank you for the brandy. It was quite nice.
Oh, of course.
Oh, good. You can give him the info, and we don't have to send anyone out. This is great.
Your fellow knight sort of leans over the railing. You are relieved to see that he has fully recovered from his wounds from back he was at the Carrion Crow camp. So you see the jovial face of the older man who had spoken with you there. And you see him sort of reach into his cloak and tap the little bottle that he kept by his side. And he says, I have been rationing it. This kind of thing is too good to drink in one gulp.
Maybe that's the truth.
Although, in this eve, if you're willing, I would be happy to share a glass or two or three.
What are you after, my land? Sorry.
As long as it's not a competition you're after, because I'll win. But yes, I will join you.
I am no longer of the age, lass. I have heard the tales. You're quite famous among those circles. I would not stand up to you. Perhaps 20 years ago, but no longer.
Are we going to find out that Evine is like 200 years old?
I mean, there's so many things we do not yet know about.
Like, we literally don't know anything about Evine other than their name is Evine. And they shoot arrows.
Yeah, is it though? They don't give you their real name.
Dame Healy, if you would. And he produces 2 glasses and starts to fill them with what looks like the last third of this bottle of brandy. And he sort of looks at it and it's like, well, maybe another glass each after this one, and this bottle will be done, but that is the occasion. He sort of hands you one of the glasses and reaches for the other and says, "To Avalon."
Aye. To Avalon.
He lets sort of the
Plug.
hang and says, "The Queen is pleased with your reports.
That's good to
She
hear.
finds her circle of trusted to be dwindling these days.
Mm.
She has a task for you. Are we right to assume, based on your previous communications, that trouble is coming to Odesseo?"
Yes, indeed.
The Queen is in a precarious position. There is conspiracy afoot, and unfortunately, we no longer know who we can trust.
Mm.
We fear armed combat is on the horizon. So the Queen has a special task for you. You are to remain here and lend your aid to the Odyssean liberation movement. The Crown of Castile will not budge and come to the aid of Avalon if it is in need. Good King Sandoval might, but as long as the Cardinal whispers in his ear, they will not associate with us heathens.
Mm.
So if Odesseo breaks from the crown and you lend your aid, you are to secure an alliance in Queen Elaine's name.
Uh-huh.
If, and only if, we find ourselves in dire straits, and if the enemy we think is rising shows its face, we would count Grande Seraphine among our allies.
Mm.
You are fully authorized to provide Queen Elaine's backing in the upcoming revolution if that is so desired.
Mm.
You've got some good news for him too, Evine.
Yep. Well, I don't think that'll be a problem. And actually,
How you?
I was
put
just
you put your
composing.
leg up, like,
I was,
well.
yeah,
Put your glasses up her.
fold, yeah, swirl the brandy. a
Yeah,
little
there
bit.
you go.
Mm. I was just writing to you earlier this evening. Well, not you specifically, but you know, just writing.
I'm
And
heartbroken.
she'll she'll relay, you know, everything that went down earlier and the Carrying Crows having a new authority to support and all of the plans that are already in motion.
Interesting. And the
Aw.
governor is supporting this.
Hell
Indeed.
yeah, we brought him his boy toy.
At the moment.
You've done quite well. And you've surrounded yourself with quite a crowd, we hear.
Yes. They make my job easy.
Well, that is always the ideal. What is your sense of them? Will they aid you if Queen Elaine calls on you to return home?
I believe they will. I'd say they know what I'm about, but they don't really. But I think they know I'm good for it.
I think they know.
That's about right.
I mean, really, isn't this as close as any of us gets?
Indeed. I mean, I could have been home this whole time, and they probably would think I was still here.
We might think that anyway. Like, I don't.
Yep.
I mean, now and then we just like speak out loud and like.
I mean,
see if she's there or not.
If you're shooting the arrows from Avalon, cool. I don't care. Like,
Yep.
You do you, boo.
He sort of reaches into his coat and pulls a sealed envelope that he hands to you, Evine.
Mhm.
That's the royal seal.
Mm.
And says, guard this very closely. I will let you decide how to best use it, but if this were to come to pass, that the Crown of Castile puts, let's say, undue pressures and is willing to risk an attack by the sea, Her Majesty is offering the Sea Dog himself, Jeremiah Barrick, and his crew in full assistance against...
Funny you should mention that. There's a squadron of ships that are also...
We've been busy.
Yep.
We've been putting in work. He'll have a safe berth outside of the... You know, it like, come on.
So, once again...
Way ahead of you.
This is not something you have to deliver, but if the occasion presents itself and you feel it might help, you have this card to play.
All right.
The Queen is willing to make a gesture of good faith and potentially put herself in a bad diplomatic position with Castile if it means securing Odesseo as an ally. I hope they see the value in that move.
Yes.
And Evie never tells the rest of us.
Yes.
Only if we need it, I guess.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'll just be...
Just pop in. By the way, of this royal seal here.
By the way,
should you need it?
here, you have the support of the Crown of Avalon.
Just in case.
He sort of grabs both glasses at this point and refills them with the rest of this bottle with a heavy sigh and said, well, nothing lasts forever. And he sort of very ceremoniously gives the bottle a kiss and then launches it at sea.
Bring him along.
Yep. And then offers you another toast. Is there anything else I can do for you, Dame Healy?
No,
I mean,
I don't think so.
Besides sending the message to the crows on our behalf to, and then getting back to us on the reply, you know.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, there's that. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I would be delighted to return to camp and pass the good news.
Oh, and that guy with the eyeball, never stop. Everyone but Zhenya loves it.
You're
Right.
kidding me? Zhenya loves it too. She's so like...
Yeah, I think that Zhenya loves it most.
Oh, all right.
Parlor magic to her is like literally the shit, guys. Like she is so fucking magic
Right.
that she doesn't even
Zhenya,
realize It's magic. So
Genya can turn into a fucking elephant and like burrow into the ground and like, but like this guy that's somehow, look at my eyeball. Oh, it's in your pocket. He's like, holy shit, he's a wizard. That is a fucking wizard.
oh my god, yeah,
Yep.
like Jenny is so
I
mad.
want to pay Zhenya to like watch a street magic show.
Yeah, like she's
Or take her to, like, the- Good for her to watch David
amazing, it's
Copperfield.
amazing.
She would lose her mind.
Yeah. Genya is like everybody in those like David Blaine
Yes.
videos.
Yes.
They're like,
Stop putting stuff on our bodies, David Blaine.
She can literally turn the weather, change her shape,
Yep.
like fucking possess things and put her consciousness in them. She is
Yep.
so fucking magic, but the idea that like, oh my god, you guessed what was in my brain.
like she
You
she
offered
hangs
me
out,
what you guessed.
You have a coin now, and you didn't have a coin a minute ago. Oh my god.
right?
Holy
Where
shit.
did it-
That's the best.
Yeah. And she hangs out with people that like manipulate fate, starts fire at will, like pop out of shadows, like
That's
50
totally
feet away.
normal.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
But like, holy shit, I never put this eyeball in my pocket. What? Fucking miracles.
Don't even get her started on Magnus.
Right? That'll be the real twist is this guy is part of ICP. You never knew.
How did they touch? They went away from each other.
They're really-
Oh, like,
Wow. Oh my god. I have been Ricardo, where you're just like, yeah, hun, it's amazing. Yeah. No, it's great.
Right.
It's great.
Yep.
No, yeah. I don't know how he did it.
Right.
You're right.
Sure, ask him to do it again. It's probably going to be different this time.
Couldn't possibly.
Put every time.
does not exist, Kasha. You can't be twice.
You think Veronica is also like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Veronica has yet to experience it awake,
Yeah.
but that eyeball has showed up on her person at least once. So,
She's like, ew,
right?
what's that? Jenny's like, oh.
Did any of you the
That's my
souvenir?
eyeball.
I didn't
No,
think any of you.
I've always in my brain because Zhenya has this childlike one. She's basically North from Rise of the Guardians. She's just childlike wonder. Oh, and I see Veronica as like, yep, that's my big sister climbing that maple.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
She's just a little more grounded, which is weird because Zhenya's part of the dirt.
And yet she's the my brain,
Only literally, not figuratively.
right?
Zhenya's the scarecrow. Just having a good time, guys.
So yeah, after that last glass, Cromwell collects both of them, tucks them back into his cloak, secures his hat, and says, well, more work to be done and half a world to travel in a short time, so I will be on my way. Do pass my good word to Sir Cross when you see him. I think he's still here undercover.
Absolutely.
He melts out of a pole.
Right?
He's not our dog. That dog's a girl. I mean, I guess, magic, but still.
Yeah.
That was a girl.
Oh no, Josecito. Oh, yeah, no, it must be the
It's
dog.
a boy. It's a boy dog.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, okay, it's probably him then. All right.
Josefina is a woman. God.
Yeah, I know. I'm the
Do
worst.
these things, apparently.
Yeah, what about the dog? It's probably like, Sad.
The dog's
Uh,
It's at home with Augustina. She keeps him company and happy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be
That's
fat as
I think at night, Xavier comes down and like rubs his belly.
oh hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be-
Everyone's asleep.
Totally.
he's gonna be
They hang
fat as
out.
hell.
They hang out by the hearth.
You
together.
can never be seen with the dog because he didn't want a dog,
Yes.
but secretly he loves
Yes.
the dog.
While you're gone, this is basically what happens. Like
Yeah.
this dog is well fed as shit, and then at night, when all his work is done, Xavier takes off his boots and sits by the hearth, and he's scritching the dog while he's reading books. That's basically what's happening.
Oh, I love it.
Ah.
Smoke his pipe, read his book.
And
scratch
if
your dog.
Augustina sneaks up on him, he's just like, it farted. It farted again. Keeps farting.
Yep.
In my brain, Josecito Perrito looks like Dante from Coco.
Yes.
Oh.
Ugliest.
Yes. Choking on its own foot.
A little bit. In that, definitely that energy. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm with it.
Yep. But yeah, after that you get a salute, Evine, and Cromwell just walks off the boat, and as he steps between two crates, he's gone.
Was I supposed to see that? Oh my god. I think I saw a secret. By accident. It was
You
an
didn't.
accident.
If it was anything that I was reading right now.
Oh, okay.
He would have just pushed you off the side of the bed. We're like, no.
Yeah. Or if you saw a secret, like it's a secret from like probably a year and a half ago.
It could still be secret.
Yeah, remember, it's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we ran away from it for 2 years.
that means it
we've
will
done that
come into
before.
play like by 2025.
You'll forget about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Forgot that thread.
I think something showed up on one of my feeds recently that was like a year ago. Or no, I was looking through Sneaky Centaur videos, and yeah, we started this game and Vampire about a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Really?
I feel like
It should be more.
It feels much longer than that. I guess.
about yeah. But yeah, go check out our YouTube. You can for those of you up, anyone watching. Let me see. Yeah, there's like a person or two giving us views. So yeah, we got a YouTube. Go watch the backlog there.
Go watch some of these old videos and then get mad at how many things we get wrong.
Yes.
Take note. Be delighted and or annoyed at how much we mess up initiative.
I apologize mostly to the people on this call that I haven't uploaded last week's session yet. That should happen tomorrow. So
I was thinking about it the other day because I was reading some mechanics about rolling and raises and things.
right.
And we don't do that anymore. Like John doesn't say like how many of your successes do you want to put toward this? Like he's just like, yeah, you fucking did it. Like go ahead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
You explode the ship. It's fine.
it depends. It depends on the situation. If it was when you're fighting brutes, doesn't
Yeah.
matter so much.
Yeah.
If you're fighting somebody who is more evenly matched, then it would matter more.
I feel like I'm always going all in anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Zhenya's 0 to 100. That's it. She like laughs at something or she's fucking killing it. So
I feel like when I was fighting what's her face, who actually wounded me.
Oh yeah. Julia.
That was a situation where I had to pick
Yep.
how many.
Yeah.
You got
So
You got
that
poisoned.
tracks.
Yeah, correct.
You got poisoned, and then you thought of Redcap, like
Yeah.
fucking goblin stalking you for like a solid 24 hours.
awkward.
Good times.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, are hallucinations a thing that happens to Avine a lot?
Well,
Was that thing in the forest a hallucination also?
Well, she also fell under the Fate Witch curse with the fucking not mermaids, but the
mermaid. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I purposely have kept that stat low just because.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple
Evine was like, everybody was seeing like the fucking like gray, gross, wrinkly
Blobfish.
skin beast with two big mouths and like rows of teeth, and she was like, "That mermaids are hot." Like, I get that.
Judy's like,
It's like, do you need to get your eyes shut?
Yeah, she's like, they sing so well. I mean, when Magnus is punching one and she's going like, "Ah," like it was just like,
Two different worlds.
and she was like, so enchanting. Yeah.
I know, I remember those.
your beauty standards are very different from where you're from.
I mean, have you seen the image?
Right. Hey, there's not a single standard of beauty, all right? Like that's
He also thinks that children are scary.
Got it.
Yep.
The people,
somebody out there is into gross fish ladies.
the people
so-
of the
Yeah.
Isles are not known for their dental hygiene, so yeah.
Well, there's always the mermaid whose upper half is an ugly fish, but her bottom half is a girl. So
Yeah.
Yep.
there's more guys.
I had a weird thought.
That's right. No
and I was
arms.
Yeah, just legs.
I was playing that game I was playing on Friday. There was this talk, and like it was another visual novel thing.
It's
and
Maui
a couple
from Moana.
about they're basically talking about weird fetishes, and one person was like, yeah, there's this one client of mine who just has a fetish for invisible people whose underwear you can still see on their bodies, like they're just floating underwear. And I'm like,
Like How to Catch a Wild Bikini? Because there's a movie about that.
it's just
The bikini walking on the beach. with no
Underwear.
person in it.
Oh,
somebody's fetish. I was
An
like,
old Frankie in a Net movie.
right. Did y'all ever
Right.
read the Dr. Seuss book, the pants with no one in them?
oh my god.
Oh no.
It is terrifying, and I was obsessed with it shortly when I was younger. Go find that book. It is fucking horrifying. I love it.
No one in them.
I am intrigued.
Yes, Dr. Seuss, the
the
pants
I want
with
to read
no one in
nothing
them.
else right now.
Yeah,
Nobody inside them. Oh
Thank
my
you.
god! Why?
Right? right? And the color tones are sinister. I love it.
That green is gorgeous.
Right?
But
I'm looking this up.
Oh
what is
yeah, no.
happening here?
It's got a very like Burton-esque flavor. You're like, ooh, aesthetic.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's some haunted ass pair of pants.
That's right.
So spooky, empty pants and I were standing
And
facing.
I can have that fun thought of somebody reading this could have a fetish for this particular thing.
That's what reminded me of it. I was like, oh my god.
Right.
Pants.
Somebody out there is into that thing. It's like invisible shape in the pants. Somebody's into that.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh my
In the
god!
word,
It's a rowboat. How?
Right?
in the word of the Continue crew, something has to fuck that thing so they can go on as a species. So
But do we want it to?
hey,
I'm not sure.
Spoilers, they
What?
become friends at the end. So they're benevolent. It's fine.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse. It's like, hey, my best friend,
It's
the
Dr.
haunted
Seuss.
pair of pants.
You know.
Yeah, we were an item for a bit, but it just didn't work out that way. We were much better friends.
I love Lisa's reaction. She looks like she's genuinely shook by this. It's so good.
There's.
I think that is a relatively sane reaction
Thanks for
compared to the other things going on around
thanks
here.
for bringing back that bit of my childhood. That is delightfully. I feel like that's goth, like a little.
Look at
right?
that!
Sort of-
Look at that!
it's pretty. Yeah,
It's rowing a boat.
I feel like it gives me
The
some
pant?
cred.
That is witchcraft and voodoo, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah,
Rowing a fucking boat.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
but that green is lovely.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful color.
That pair of pants is rowing that boat, and at the same time looking like it's doing some sweet crumpin' moves right there.
It's riding a bike too.
The
Wow.
bicycle's pretty terrifying. It's all good.
Well,
You're welcome. Have some nightmares.
It's like the opposite of Phantom Limb from Venture Brothers.
Oh my god.
Well-
I finished off Venture Brothers and I didn't realize I hit the last episode and I was like, no.
No.
So good.
So sad.
I am here for Mrs. Councilman. So good. Anyway.
We have derailed
Oh yeah.
a lot.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Mermaids
We're
are
mostly on topic
That's-
for a while.
People are used to our content at this point. There are no rails, and we drive off road anyways.
Yep.
So
We throw our bowling balls down other people's lanes.
that's right. That's
I
We're
feel it's
trailblazing.
engaging
And then we
content.
totally
and
hit a
that's what
strike
matters.
on the other side.
Hopping
So
lanes.
no further actions then for this night, I assume. Genia, Ricardo built a miniature military camp within a nest of boxes.
Wow, he built you a box fort.
There's like bedrolls and like he went into like grunt mode and just prepped, right? Like it's like it's gonna be there's even a little awning, like just leaning over like a couple rows of crap, right? Like
It's like in a building and he still built it awning.
yeah. Oh yeah.
When Ricardo wakes up in the morning, Jenny is actually in his bedroll. Just curled up to his side.
Oh yeah. This is all fine.
Is
It's like-
Veronica staying with the family or?
Incidentally, as if the two of you were magnets, Veronica, who also slept outside, like seemed to have rolled away further as you got into Ricardo's bedroll. She's now firmly like when you wake up, like her bedroll and like her blanket are against one of the boxes. Like she's facing the box.
Just go right up against you.
Yeah.
Yep. She's that close.
Like she can stay on the ship if she wants. Like,
Oh, she knows that.
okay. I mean, that's where I'm staying. Well, yeah.
She's chaperoning.
Yeah.
All right.
She sort of half pretends she hates it, and then parts of it is all about it.
Yeah.
Who do we have on watch for our new charge? What's her name? Yeah, Lydia? No, not Lydia. Lavinia.
And yeah,
Which is a really great name, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's a
the
good name.
ship's crew is still watching her. It seemed that between Kadim and Rafi, they're sort of doing like a 12-12 shift, right? And they sort of they keep it up. They talk to her. Sometimes she responds.
Progress.
So, yeah. Sometime during the night, Landreville returned to the boat because he's here in the morning.
Wow, look at him walk of shaming it. Nice.
Right? Shoes off.
There is no shame in that walk.
The walk of pride.
That is a strut. That is a happy man.
Oh,
Morning, he's got a suspicious bruise on the side of his neck.
I mean, he might be missing a hand, but he just grew back a whole other limb, guys.
Yeah.
Ew.
Hey.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I'm here for Twink Governor and
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
one-handed.
We're seeing, yeah.
Well, Tony, we have a host of new hashtags.
Hell yeah.
We should be rolling out.
Rabbit. Word bubble. Word that
Twink
needs to
Governor.
go in the, yeah. Here for Twink Governor. Yeah. That,
We are all here.
Well done, Megan. Vote for Twin Governor 1668.
Yes.
His grinder profile.
hell
But
yeah.
it's like the icon for it is a mortar and pestle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well done.
It's
You
a
see
spicy
those
grinder.
grinder pamphlets? Scandalous.
Oh, yes. That was delicious.
There it is.
And when you resubmit it back, you charcoal in either a right arrow or a left arrow to denote whether or not you're interested.
Right.
So
It's like when somebody slips you the note, right? Like, do you want to go out? Yes, no, except this one you have to mail back,
yeah,
right?
And
It's
the
like an
mailman-
RSVP. It's like I hammered a right arrow. Could you please RSVP and return this to sender, please?
wouldst thou like to smash? Cordially yours.
Right?
Thank you,
What?
Berkeley. Son.
What is this?
Oh my.
No.
Just swipe thy right.
Yeah.
Do not mind if I shall.
I cry.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
all right. Well,
Uh,
we always make these fucking worlds our own, and I live for it. This is the reality I want to live in.
me too. Okay. I'm fine. Let's go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everybody wakes up. Laundreville's back.
All right.
Everybody is up. You're in Ricardo's bedroll. Everything is right with the world. So there's a couple of things that happened today. I think meeting with Mazabi and going to the restaurant.
This is the
Oh,
first
sure.
time about shapeshift from Zabi.
So
It's gonna come up here.
when everyone's sort of getting up, like even early, I start getting up, and I'm like headed over to Ricardo I'm headed over to the camp off the ship, and I sort of like stop outside the camp. I'm sort of hemming and hawing, and Evine, I think you would notice that I'm sort of indecisive about something.
Evine, you're there if you wish to be.
Yeah.
Well, Evine's
You seem indecisive about something.
yeah, Evine's omniscient, so I figured, you know.
Let me take
Yeah.
that thing.
Right. I see your party has no wizard.
Acquisition. I am completely here.
I think she would have gone looking for him specifically.
Yeah, and oh, okay. So
With
you would
some
have
news.
okay. So you would have come to me because I was setting you up for that. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I was gonna say this anyway.
right. And you're like Rethel or whatever, and I'd be like, we need to put the bell on you or something. Jesus.
It doesn't work.
Somehow the
Nope.
bell disappears.
Yeah,
I
the
feel like
bells.
she pulls out like
It's
a
just-
handful of bells from her pocket and
Yeah.
goes, "We've tried."
Yeah, no,
And
yeah.
they're
She's
just silent
the fucking Ninja Turtle.
when you
Yeah,
shake them.
I mean, to be fair, Rhea has a bell on her collar, and
Right.
she is sneaky as fuck.
right.
This cat just pops up behind you, like sitting right behind your head, and you're like, "The fuck? Where'd you come from?" And she's like, "Meow."
Yeah, no, they learn just like Evine
You'll
knows.
catch her at the
Yep.
corner of your eye at some point, running with 3 paws up, like with one on the bell.
Yeah.
Like, just
Little ninja run.
So they were like,
Yeah.
"What, Evine? What's the matter? You never talk to us unless there's something wrong."
Oh, something is right though.
Okay, okay, good.
Well, crows have been informed, and also as a bargaining chip, or otherwise if needed, I've got this now.
What?
Pulls out the royal seal
What?
and explains the situation.
I imagine
you know the seal. It's you've been in trade.
It's
You know
legit.
what this implies.
I lean into Evine. I'm like, Evine, how dare you? This royal seal lends a legitimacy to this entire operation that I am not comfortable with.
Only
I thought
to
you were
be
gonna
used
be like,
if needed.
I thought you were gonna be like, Evine, how dare you have whole adventures in between episodes?
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
how I assume. I assume she's just grinding levels outside of this, and like
Yep.
she's our fucking ace in the hole. Because like
I mean,
hell yeah,
Every time we go to sleep, she runs like 6 modules.
yeah.
Yep.
There's
I-
like a second series that runs concurrently, but on a different channel.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
You're like,
And she doesn't like it.
Mastery of time and everything.
yeah, no, it's like the continuity doesn't make sense because they've done 3 seasons in her show and there's only 1 in ours, and it's. But I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't have the stamina for that. By all means, please.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm like, well then. Good. Okay. So let's go.
yeah, everybody is sort of starting to assemble. The camp has now become the makeshift, like, sort of gathering spot.
Did I need to actually send, or did I already send it? The letter.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
The previous session.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so basically everyone who wakes up and comes over, I go, do you see what Evine did?
No, is Irene here? Oh,
Yep.
there she is.
You now notice her, now that you've said her name.
I
3
didn't say
times.
it 3 times, though.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
say it 3 times.
No, you only say it 3 times if somebody needs to die. 1 time's enough just to be able to see her. Okay, I
Right.
get it.
Right.
Yep.
You summon her with 1 name or with 1 mention of her name, and then you activate her with 3.
Mhm. Kill mode.
And I just
How
right.
it works.
I'm just constantly gesticulating at the pouch or the envelope, whatever you have.
I mean, do I do it?
you may or may not be waving it around.
I mean, maybe Leanne.
The rest of
Yeah, would
you,
any of us even know what that is anyway?
Maybe not.
'Cause I don't
Wouldn't
know what it would.
Okay, some weird Evine thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like,
She has a lovely stamp.
can roll for it. Roll
She's
for
got-
it.
well, that's 10.
Too many consonants.
Anybody
somewhere.
who cares can roll a scholarship with.
Okay, I got some points in that shit.
Now, Zhenya right now is trying to like roll up bedrolls so everyone can fit in our camp.
Yeah. No, Ricardo is with you. He's in cleanup mode, folding things, and he doesn't put everything away because you're gonna have to use it again. But
Yeah, I'm
I
sitting
got
on a
4.
crate next to where Evine keeps fading out of existence and back in. It's the last known point I have for reference to be like, right there.
right,
I got 4 successes for scholarship.
yeah, you know what that is. It's
Oh,
the royal seal of the crown of Avalon.
I mean, I overachieved and got 8.
You know what it is too.
I know what it is twice over for some
I
reason.
also know what it tastes like.
That's Queen Elaine's seal.
I read it in a book of what things taste like. It
Yeah.
was buried under a book of what things smell like and things I hate.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Vidace. I wasn't supposed to read it because
Yeah.
it was forbidden for women to read and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But I read it anyway.
I asked why these specific things and like why not more, and they were like, because it's a trilogy. That's what the author said.
But there's also the pamphlet that's part of the canon,
But she
Right.
found it under like a bunch of rocks
Right.
in like the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Oh, like forest porn.
Yeah. Things I Hate is the 3rd volume, and it is quite large.
The biggest volume.
Large.
They always double in size as they write, the trilogy. And the last one was like,
Yep.
Most of the fans don't mind as far as I can tell, so it's all right.
That last book is a journey.
It had to be 2 movies.
I feel like it's just a dictionary.
It's a dictionary, and there's like 5 or 6 things that are crossed off.
Yeah.
And
It's
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 okay.
Encyclopedia Britannica, or it's like Encyclopedia Furia, something like that. And
Yep.
Evine, are these orders?
Oh no, my hands are wet and I was trying to unmute it. Are these what? I didn't quite hear it.
Are these orders?
Orders. Conditional orders. To
Well,
be used as needed. If it'll sway the situation.
that is wonderful.
well,
You are very busy.
Jimena,
I just had a drink.
Yes.
I think then you're the one who will be who may or may not want to give this intel to our friend here.
Our friend here?
Yes, to the Grande.
Oh, she's not here right now, though.
No, sure, but here in town,
No, I understand what you mean, but it did not make sense a minute ago.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was me. That was my bad.
There was a comprehension fail here.
Yeah. So I figured in the evening, less so during the day when we're all getting up, that is when we would go meet I have names, the Mzabi Inquisitor.
Yeah.
While Jimena and maybe Evine go meet with Osea.
Restaurante.
Yeah.
Yep.
Salazar.
Lucia Serafine at the Restaurant Salazar.
I mean, you said some of those syllables. It's fine. We got it.
Also Sebastian, which is why
Mhm.
Jimena is really going.
With that hat.
That fancy hat.
Are you taking your cousin to meet the man with the hat?
Hell yeah, I'm taking my cousin to meet the man with the hat.
Well, it's only right to
And,
introduce family to the man you're going to marry.
This feels very Curious George, the man in the feathered hat.
Jimenez going after the salt and pepper chocolate man.
Are you gonna climb him like a monkey climbs a tree? Because that's what's up.
I mean, she definitely would like to. I don't know that she's actually going to do anything about it, but the thought.
Everyone knows that chocolate with a little bit of spice is lovely.
Hey.
I mean, chocolate with cayenne pepper. Hell yeah.
That's
That's
hot chocolate.
like your official, so your official ship food.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, we're all going to hell for this episode. Like,
hell yeah.
it's bad. Like, it's just
We booked the tickets like 5 years ago.
yeah, but we're punching them right. We're punching them today.
Yep.
We're getting our last stamp on our frequent buyer card.
Yeah.
Now we get a discount.
Well,
Discounted entry.
6-7 years ago, I was like, y'all got tickets to this place? Because I got to. Y'all got we should hang out.
Yeah.
Right?
I got
We
tickets.
sort of started hanging around the bus stop, right? Like, it's just like, when is this thing fucking coming?
I keep having to get a bigger picnic basket. I mean, before it was just enough cookies for me, but now I gotta feed like all y'all too.
Cookies.
I landed on tour out of character document recently, and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Well, is it in there? Don't trust the penis you made yourself.
All righty.
True story.
Context, but that's even better.
Yep. I have no recollection whatsoever as
No,
to
that's
what that
the
was
way-
in relation.
That's the best
But
way.
I think that was Dresden, but I
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
all right, so we have a couple marching orders here, but it is about 10:20. How are we doing on time? Is it a good break time? I know some of you might have an early start tomorrow.
I'm good.
Okay.
Man, how you feeling?
I'm washing dishes.
Oh, she's good for a little.
I'm good for a bit.
You okay, Megan?
What?
Were you talking to me?
Oh yeah, you blew up for a second.
Yeah, we heard a drop or something.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't do anything.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe Amanda dropped us in the sink.
Right.
Oh no.
Nope, I was remuted.
Oh, okay.
Well, if something happened on my end, it was not conscious. Nothing dropped in my house.
all right.
It's those fucking ghost pants.
These things are haunting us.
I'm just
rubbing up against the microphone.
I'm staring at it, and it's just like, remember me, fucker? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Yep.
I mean, in case you did it to yourself.
It's always in there. It's fucking TikTok. It's like, what lives in your brain rent free? And I'm like, that.
Yep.
So,
I don't know. It's taking up some rent space in my brain.
you know,
That's not rent free.
It
That's
was-
costing me.
I mean, it was a good renter. It didn't make much noise. You know, it's fine. No, I told JC that, like, because she keeps coming across the one where it's like, what is the video that lives in your head rent free? And I'm like, this scene from the animated Peter Pan where Smee shaves the seagull's butt and then it flies away. That's the best.
Things like that. It just
It's classic. It's great.
That's shit.
Good clean
stays
fun.
with you.
Uh,
Okay.
but yeah,
Why are you
Raffle-
drawing ghost pants?
Because we're talking about it.
What the fuck?
I drew a modern pestle too.
Oh, yeah,
And I
well-
wrote down Twink Governor. Hashtag Twink Governor.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you
Now
think I do?
There's a drawing of fucking haunted pair of pants. All right, so we have a couple of places. Who's going where?
So I would like to send a letter out to the guild,
Okay.
and I think that it needs to become very awkward and difficult for any member of the Prophet's Sword in San Felipe to acquire any goods that would normally come through the guild. Even so far as to have private buyers compensate for supplies that would otherwise go to them, as they may be directed to an offshore situation, as that's going to start being a thing. So, you know,
Nice.
of course, I would never lose the guild business that it otherwise is engaging in, but I would definitely redirect it, which they have no problem with because I can pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Perfect.
Zhenya will go with Marilena for her meeting again.
We're doing this in the evening still though, right? Is that?
Yeah, because you're trying not to.
Yeah.
You're trying not to be seen around during daylight.
And I imagine since we were out super late, it's like lunch.
Yep, basically. There's actually food brought to you all. Mateo and his crew are working.
Well, I might actually take the day to talk to Lavinia then.
Oh, sure.
Zhenya is going to crow out and go searching for a piece of wood.
Okay. Any particular piece of wood or just...
Ricardo's right there.
Hello.
That's right.
I don't think that Zhenya gets it though.
No, which is why it's great.
Yep.
No, she doesn't get that, of course. She's like, he's not made of wood.
Not right now.
I have poked him.
Ricardo is busy elsewhere.
Yeah. She's looking for like a nice piece of just like a little chunk that a raven could carry. And just something nice.
Okay.
So she's searching for a nice chunk of wood.
Speaking of which, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. We're
Well,
still
you
laughing
know-
at chunks of wood.
You'll find what you're looking for. You can either find... There's like plenty, like if you go a little bit along the shore, like you can either find driftwood, but there's forested areas like really close to the city, so you can find just...
Yeah.
Get this off of my face.
Post it in the Discord, dude.
Yeah. Take a picture and post it on Discord.
Share with the class.
Yes.
I don't
Fine.
need that in my head, Discord.
That You have a
No,
head?
she's definitely looking for something a little nicer than driftwood. So I
Yeah.
guess
Perfect. So there's
forest.
basically toppled wood close enough. In fact, not far to the area that Ricardo took you, like there's some trees there that have, discarded branches, or you can with a little bit of foraging, you can find what you're looking for.
When she gets back, she sets herself up in a corner and pulls out a little knife and starts carving away. Rethel isn't the only one that carves.
It's coming out
Well,
blurry.
Speaking of which, Rethold is tired of waiting because he doesn't know when this is going to happen. So he comes up out of the ship with two packages wrapped in wet oilcloth, and he's like, "I think you can use these now as opposed to when I was going to give them to you." So, and then I drop, and then I basically say the Vestan word for congratulations on your new life together, and I just sort of set them down on the box.
Oh, again. Okay, hold on. And she puts all her stuff down and she picks it up.
Yep.
And do you want me to open it now?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Ricardo follows suit tentatively.
And one of them has a Z and one of them has an R, so you know which is whose.
She offers them both to him. I don't know what.
He pushes the Z package back to her, and it's like, this one is yours.
Okay. She can't. She doesn't do letters.
Yes.
She's gonna open it up.
Yeah. Ricardo opens his up.
And what do we find, Tony?
John knows what you find.
Oh yeah.
What do I find, DM?
Do you want to describe it, Tony? I can pull the one you sent me.
Okay. I'm gonna have to pull it up too because you got it.
1 second. I'm scrolling through our.
I feel like at the moment, like the screen is paused, and there's like old VHS like lines running through it.
Oh, yeah.
Installation in the corner.
Oh, John does need to tell you what it is because I gave him options.
Oh, okay. Next time on As the Sea Turns.
Does John maybe need to look later to tell you more details? Because what they appear to be is obvious.
I'll send you. So they have mechanical.
Oh.
They have mechanical functions. So there's rules attached to those, and I'll send those to you separately. But basically, Rethold made a dagger and pistol grip, customized for each of you.
Yeah.
Basically, it's scrimshaw. So it's folded in an ornate. I have the mechanics on there, but did you have there was something specific you had carved into those, right, Tony?
Oh, I didn't outline that. No.
Wasn't one a bear and one a crow?
Oh yeah, because because I'd started working on them when we'd first come back from the forest. So yeah. It is a crow in flight above a bear charging.
Nice.
And so yeah, there is a pistol grip that can be seated, and then the one has the crow long ways on for one dagger, and the charging bear upright on the other dagger, and so the grip is meant to replace whatever leather wrap is there.
Ah, yeah. I was like, because her knives have the the knuckle guards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah,
And that way it
So
doesn't change the thickness at all for you. It keeps your balance right.
nice. There you go. Thank you, Rethold.
Yep, and I'll send you. It gives you like some extra. There's some extra mechanical advantages if you
Nice.
put that on your weapon.
Yeah. All the thank yous.
I'm like, I'm still working on the silverware set, so that'll be later.
Oh wow.
Well, thank you, Rethel. That is very thoughtful gift. And Ricardo's sort of pulling the pistol grip already, and
Yeah, it was like Jen is already putting hers on.
yeah,
Well, yeah, you got to unwrap it and play with the toys. You know, it's good.
Of course.
Yeah. he's like,
Like
well, this will take
Might
a
be
little
for
bit This will take a little bit to replace, but I'll get to it right today. As we're waiting.
I lean in and I'm like, whenever Jimena marries Sebastian, you know, they'll get a set too. I'm gonna set everyone up. It's gonna be nice.
When you say that, she like looks up from the thing that she's eating, and like, I'm just like,
What? I didn't say anything. What?
But of
Turns
course,
right
you
red.
say it, and immediately Grishenya's like, Jimena, you did not tell us. This is wonderful.
Jimena, whatever food you were carrying is pushed up as you get elbowed quite violently by Rodrigo, who sort of like he elbows you and then he's like,
Oh.
Tell me.
She's like shaking her head and like waving her hands, like, no, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not. It's like Rethel has a big mouth that he needs to keep shut.
I'm speaking Vestin, walking away. Just
Which makes Zhenya like, what? Because she knows what he's saying.
right.
None of you.
Rodrigo is like, it doesn't need to be like that, cousin.
In front of Sebastian, he doesn't know about it.
He's like, it doesn't need to be like that, cousin. Like, we were together for 2 days. If you have a crush, like, why didn't you tell Rodrigo?
You were going to meet him later. I was waiting until you met him. That's why.
I love that he speaks in the third person. That's nice.
That's the best part of Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Right?
It's Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
He's like, oh, I see. So he's meeting family, eh? Oh, yeah.
Like, yes, that's totally what it is.
Rodrigo's like,
Zhenya's still really confused.
he sort of pats himself a little bit, and he's like, Rodrigo's going to need some new pants.
What's wrong
I'm right here.
Rodrigo has his own agenda.
Well, as it happens, we know someone who has a shop where they can make you pants.
I don't question Rodrigo's needs. You know,
It's like that. It was a flow chart. You're not privy to it, but that's it went through a few stages and landed on I'm gonna need new pants. So
the way of the Rodrigo is mysterious.
that's right.
He is El Fuego, so
Right. You want to understand Rodrigo, you have to live as Rodrigo.
Nice.
Ah, we got a squeak.
Nice.
It's
Yes.
not just me tonight.
Peak. Love it.
It's a pretty good night.
A few shorts out of me and a squeak out of Megan.
Love it.
See?
All right. Who is planning to go to which meeting tonight?
Well, like was said earlier.
Marlena
I'm
and Leandro with Zhenya
Yes.
to see Mazabi.
yeah, and Jimena, Rodrigo, and Evine to go
Yep.
see the restaurant.
I can stay back and babysit for a night.
You can hang out with Magnus and do hot girl shit.
Hell yeah.
You guys can braid each other's beards.
Hell yeah.
and, you know,
Nice.
it would be lovely.
Yeah.
Moisturize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It get
We
get cold and dry.
we
You know,
have the bottle over your face, and we're like, "What's going on?"
it's just whale fat. Just what?
And Jenny's like, "You're wasting that. You're supposed to eat it."
Well, how do you think I take it off? You just.
Ah!
Whoa. Oh,
Tony, you're fired.
It's edible.
the visual was
Out of
just.
mask, you just
fired.
get a chip.
You put
I
a little
have-
seasoning.
Tony,
It's like
Tony,
it's like
Tony,
oh, it's like
Tony,
it's like Lucas. There we go.
Tony.
There it is. I got there. I got John too.
No,
I got John. Yes.
that's terrible. Freaking fired,
Well done.
man.
Well done. It was the I was writing stuff down as to who was going where, and then Tony made his comment, and I heard
No,
various
this is absolutely
Ugh.
unacceptable.
You're gonna have to
various-
watch later for Ye Old Grinder. That'll get you. That'll make it up for you.
The old with the
I mean, Jenya's favorite snack is like fermented seal's blood. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can manage your case of whale fat.
No, yeah, I'll stay back and watch Veronica and Lavinia.
Have
Right.
standoff.
Yeah, no, I'll just sit there and whittle and just stare at them both. You know, just because
Yep.
apparently that's what we do.
Will I get to talk to her before, or we're gonna do this?
Yeah. You. So you wanted to do chats with Lavinia today. So
At some point, yeah. The only
if
reason
you
I
go-
said it though was because I figured we were doing this at night, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
happy
are.
doing this part first.
you are doing this at night.
Okay.
We'll clear this first. So if you go visit Lavinia, she's seated in her room on the ship. There's a plate of food that has been eaten in the room. And she's sitting in a chair. Somebody has brought her a book at some point, and it's on the table, untouched.
Ooh, what's the title?
Ooh.
Your
I
mom.
mean, fucking is it a book? Why am I forgetting my language? In Vodachi?
Everybody poops.
In Vodachi.
Everybody
Everybody-
poops in Vodachi. That's the
In
title.
Vodachi, put the tag.
Yo,
Yeah, it's not in the language.
I actually knock first. If the door's open, I just knock on the door.
Everybody
Yeah.
poops in Vodachi
So
except the
that's
trade
after you
princess.
knock. It's Rafi that actually tells you to come in.
Oh, okay.
Like Lavinia doesn't really respond.
Okay. I see. I mean, I sit somewhere. I don't know where there is to sit on here.
There's chairs. Like it's a well furnished cabin.
All right.
She's seated at the writing desk.
I sit in somewhere where I can actually see her face.
She actually turns to you when you come in.
Let's see. I say, I speak in our language. Lavinia, yes.
That is correct, Elder.
How are you doing? How are you adjusting to things here?
I am well,
You're all weird.
right? I eat well.
How far along are you with your training?
She sort of takes a breath at that and basically starts to go through the various circles that she's in. She's like, I can understand the strands, and I can see people's strengths and weaknesses. I can also place a boon or a curse upon someone. but I have not been directed to do so since I was taken from the other ship. I have offered.
Yes, you will not likely get a direct order in that way. However, if you do want something more structured, there are other Strega at my shop.
Which family do they belong to?
Which family do they belong to?
At this point, none.
Oh, um, we are outside that particular structure at this point. If you mean a merchant prince family, we
They
have made
belong to
our own
me.
thing here.
So who is giving the command?
No one.
She fizzes a little bit.
How do you know? How do you know which strand to pluck if no one gives the command?
Well, I personally choose according to the goals that we have as a group. I believe my thoughts about this are in an early stage, but I do believe there needs to be some amount of structure, as in to determine what is the correct way of doing things, the morally correct in that case, not just what a person tells us to do, because there is the danger of being exploited if we are to do that. But we, as a movement, I suppose we could call it that at this point, we are in our infancy, but we need people who are willing to step outside of the old ways and think about the kinds of laws we can use to govern ourselves.
Her brow is sort of furrowed at that. Like,
Because one of the greatest fears of a Strega out on her own is that the powers we wield, they are exceptionally powerful and dangerous. They can be used in such a way to do harm to us and to others. And so I do believe there needs to be a structure, but I do not believe the correct one is merchant princes and other men telling us what to do with our powers. We should learn to use them responsibly, but we should be the ones to police ourselves. This is what I believe, and what I hope one day will become more of a more than just an idea.
if no one gives the command, how do you know what you're doing is right?
Well, you think that the person that tells you what to do knows what they're doing is right? Is it right just because they told you? We are all people that have to ask those questions of ourselves every day. Some people use religion, some people use other codes, some people use whatever that is they want for themselves, that becomes what's right. I like to believe that we together as witches outside the influence of our home nation can come up with rules for ourselves. And yes, we will have to debate these things. We will have to adjust them over time. We will have to talk about what it is we value as people, individually. It is a work in progress, and that means that there is nobody to tell us what is right. But we have to find that together.
I am a sword of the princes, no different than the one that they carry at their side. What am I to do without a hand to guide me?
If you wish a hand to guide you, then perhaps Well, if you're not comfortable helping me come up with these policies, then perhaps you can follow what the rest of us come up with.
You need to talk to Zhenya about rules and consequences. Because there's anyone here who follows a weird set of codes and rules, it's her. And I can teach you something that would make Matushka happy. Here,
I'm
boy.
under this.
Of course.
You understand. This is no mere analogy. I am as a sword, kept in a sheath until it is drawn for a purpose. I was brought up this way. I was kept in the dark this way. I was shaped to be a weapon for Vodace. To use this power for myself is... There is no self. And she sort of catches herself as she's saying it.
If that is truly how you feel, then you cannot stay with us.
I do not know how I feel.
Then in that case, stay with us until you find out.
I was not given an opportunity.
Yes, I realize that. Which is why we are doing what we can to allow you the space to make those decisions. However, I suppose in the meantime, if you would like to continue your training, at the very least, I can do that for you.
She sort of puts her hand on the book.
What does it say? I should look at it, I guess.
It says the Dagger of Bernoulli.
Okay.
It seems like a pretty cheesy adventure fair book that probably someone gave her in good faith. She sort of puts a hand on it and she says, the other man at the door, Hazim, brought it to me. I have no use for it. Please take it away.
All right. I look it up.
You would understand why.
Okay, why?
She can't read.
Yeah.
Oh, correct.
It's like they're not allowed to read, so they wouldn't teach her to read.
I was sort of wondering what
in Zhenya's boat.
Yeah, when he mentioned a
I don't know
book.
why I didn't think about that, but yeah, of course, most of them don't.
No, yeah, they're not allowed to.
They should read to her.
You sense a tint of like, she says, I have no use to it. There's a hint that like having this thing in the room is sort of, I guess, frustrating to her.
Frustrating as in she wants to be able to read it, or
you're not quite sure.
I mean,
where
I
that
can
comes from.
I can empathy that, can't I?
Sure.
I won't read her.
It's like having a super hard Sudoku puzzle in front of you. You're like, fuck this thing.
Right.
But I'm so good at Sudoku.
I like Sudoku.
It's just a puzzle. It's
I've
just
never even done Sudoku before.
No, but some of them are super fucking hard, and you're like, no, this is impossible.
Well, Veronica is very good at reading and writing. She should have story time. Just to egg on that. Look at this weird chick.
What?
She can read. What? She has no fate. Crazy.
Okay. I got 6.
6?
Oh, wait, actually 7. I forgot about my extra.
No. It's a source of frustration because it's a source of temptation. It shows her something that she does not have and is not allowed to have, that somebody gave her in kindness. I mean, she can read this guy. She knows he had no malicious intent, or it was not meant as a jab at her. She knows that was fully genuine, but at the same time, it is something that she cannot allow herself to long for.
Well, I take it for now. I feel like there's multiple conversations to be had. But I guess what I say to her now is, I'm not trying to say the way that you lived your life is wrong. It is all that you knew. There is nothing wrong with that, and I believe, if anything, that you served the purpose that you were given, with a certain amount of pride, and there is a certain amount of how should I say this? I can understand that feeling, but at the same time, it has left you sheltered. You did not have to make any of the decisions that the people that ordered you did. And as long as you are not in Vodache or with a person of Vodache who is loyal to their ways, you are not going to have that kind of direction. Because nobody here, nobody on the ship, nobody that I associate with personally would want to treat you that way. Because from the outside perspective, the way that witches are treated in our homeland is like it's like objects. And for them, for people that don't live that way, it feels oppressive. So they're not going to understand that having a purpose helps you feel, well, it gives you pride or gives you purpose. They see people are exploiting you and they want to save you from it, essentially. But I personally can see that it will take some time for you to live a different way. But be assured that if you do stay here and do not return to a master the way that you've always lived your life up till now, you will have to live a different life. You will have to learn a different one. Otherwise, you should go home. And unfortunately, in that case, I am not sure I can allow you to go home. I would rather not have to fight you. But again, you have time to think.
She sort of nods quietly at this point. Her shoulders bow slightly.
I will come and see you every now and then. Please don't feel that you have no you're not welcome here. I do want to check on your progress and see it to your training until you have decided.
I will be here.
Of course. Now, have a good rest of your day. And I take the book and I leave.
Rafi closes the door behind you. He doesn't say anything, but there's like a face as you come out, like, yeah, there's a feeling of like, yeah, we talked to her too. Doesn't work out so hot. But like you said, work in progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. That's pretty much the business for the day. Night comes. Jimena, Rodrigo in tow, who has secured a brand new set of pens he's pretty proud of, courtesy of Leandro, of all people.
Wait, does this mean that Leandro is Il Duce? Is he the Duke?
Who
Yes,
knows?
he is.
We found him!
He's not the boss. But yeah,
People are gonna think he's the Duke because he's your husband.
Yep.
that's right.
Because that's the name of the shop. Ah.
Yeah, I know, right? There you go. We found him. We did it. Took us a year and a half or so.
Rodrigo is Astra, then didn't change his shirt, just his pants. Apparently, that's enough. But he's like, he seems much more calm than he was yesterday. Periodically, like you still see the edge come through, but right now he's on the up. He's having a pretty good time. He's coming around and he hooks his arm in yours and he's like, "All right, cousin, you are in the lead."
Earlier that day, Rethel probably would have been like, Jimena, do you think you'll get your meal comped, or do you need some extra, or are you good?
Well, Jimena has money.
Oh, she just doesn't pay. She doesn't use it. Okay, never mind. You're good.
Yeah, she hasn't really had occasion to actually need to use it lately, but she does have her own money.
Okay, cool.
Because
I mean-
people offer you food everywhere you go.
Yeah, people offer me food.
And our split of the spoils are pretty substantial. So yeah, no, never mind. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no.
Evine may or may not be visible, but Evine is there nonetheless.
She is also like wearing her more official uniform. Her
Oh, yeah.
her looking like an actual representative
You know,
of
anybody who
Jimena's very
cares,
underdressed.
anyone who cares can try to roll a wit scholarship on that. Some of you have traveled.
Wait,
Because I haven't rolled
is this
anything
before
yet.
last
I'll
or
roll
yeah?
something.
do it. Probably was seen her getting ready.
Yeah.
It's possibly noisy.
Virginia's back to whittling.
All right, those aren't successes.
3.
They're raises. Okay, hold on.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Reroll 15s. Okay. Oh, why?
Virginia has 3 as well.
3.
Yes. Oh, Jenya has 4 because I can do 15s. Duh. I was like, I have this extra 5. What am I going to do with it?
yeah, I
Four
also
bits.
4.
4.
Mhm.
6.
6.
Just purely off wits. I have 1 in scholarship.
3 and 4.
Oh. In that case, Jimena also has 4, because I forgot that I can do 15s also.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. There you go.
Because
So,
I have 4 dots in wits.
Yeah, so do I.
Once again, purely what I'm going off of.
All of us are just
so
clever.
4s. This is an officer's outfit from the court of Avalon. You're not exactly sure what position specifically, but
So Evine
That
is
is-
without a doubt landed gentry.
yeah. Rethold is a fucking knight of Elaine.
This is
The-
Rethel's.
Surprise.
Yeah, this is Rethel's surprise face. Yeah.
This is basically Queen Elaine's inner circle of spies, informants, and guardians.
With that fucking stamp she showed up with in the middle of the night, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Figures.
Yeah, that's about right.
But yeah, looking dapper. Rodrigo is stoked. His new pants seem to have the power of a full tuxedo.
I feel like he's running around and being like, "They have pockets," and like doing
Oh yeah,
the
basically. Oh yeah,
Yes.
he's doing the strut a little bit.
Yep.
He's like, I'm ready.
pockets. Thanks, they have pockets.
Much like the previous night, when your group leaves, well, both of your groups will leave at the same time. You find the streets, your pathway, surprisingly clear of any sort of prophet sword. In fact, Jimena, you see a detachment of city guards pass by. There's a guardsman you don't really immediately recognize. Like, his face is maybe a little bit familiar, but you don't have more than a passing recognition. But as the detachment passes, you see that guardsman basically give you like a legit like nod of recognition as you pass by. Yeah, you're pretty much unassailed the whole way through. Jimena, you're pretty happy to see the dock quarters as rowdy and lively as usual. The bustle gets only louder as you get closer and closer to the restaurant. There's again a long line at the door. You see Jimena like clearly gentry in various fineries just lined at the door. Some of them look foreign. There's just this long line of people just waiting. And as you approach the restaurant, Rodrigo looks at the line and he sort of looks dejected for a second.
It's like, oh no, honey, don't worry.
Yeah, like as you approach, you see a very tall doorman, like sort of peek above like a noble who's sort of annoyingly asking him like what's taking so long, and he keeps saying like under his breath like, "This section is not yet. Please wait, sir." But as he peeks over and sees you, Jimena, and Evine, just basically like sort of raises a hand and then gestures you to come forward. And
As
I've been waiting in this line all night.
as we're walking past like the line of clearly disgruntled gentry, Jimena just kind of leans over and like waves and is like, "Hola!" And walks back to the restaurant.
the little man who's wearing an impressive set of mutton chops and has clearly put his best, fineries on. He's accompanied by a lady who may or may not be his wife, is giving you the stink eye, like as he's passing by. He looks like he might protest, but the tall gentleman is sort of stepping in between, so nothing comes out of his mouth. But and you can clearly see the line sort of looking at you, and you hear whispers on there, like, "What is this?"
Who are they?
Right?
I am more important than you.
Rodrigo is doing something with his hips. It doesn't look right. As he's walking past these people, like he's trying to get some swagger into his step. It's something.
Well, it's like that part at the beginning of Mulan where Mushu is trying to tell her how to walk like a dude.
Yep. It's
Man strut.
right. It's like he has formed an idea as to what a triumphant strut is supposed to look like, but maybe he's a robot from a different planet and he doesn't quite know exactly how human movements work. So it's all a little awkward. But hey, he's owning it. He doesn't look embarrassed for a single second. You're escorted into the restaurant, into the very familiar arcade. It takes a moment, but you get, the usual baskets of bread and drinks are brought to the table. In a rush, you actually recognize Carlos, the waiter, like sort of popping in to drop some bread, and then he sort of pauses for a second and looks at you. And he looks like he was going in one direction, but then he immediately dives for the kitchen.
She's here.
And
Surprise attack.
yeah,
It's Dolly.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, don't Levi.
it's like we
Kind of like double production. Let's go.
about 30
Call those cooks in
seconds.
that are off right now. Let's go.
Right.
All
About
hands
30
on deck.
seconds after he vanished into that kitchen, an older waiter comes out, which you recognize as the gentleman who was manning the bar when you had invited the ship's crew down here. So that gentleman is taking his post again, looking very much like a soldier at the barricades. He's ready.
He cracks his neck. He's like, all right.
He remembers there was a lot of characters in that room at that time, and they're not sure exactly what to expect.
There could be a few,
And,
there could be many.
Carlos does come out about a couple minutes later with some plates of hot food, just diving into the area and laying those on the table. And on his heels are actually Sebastian, and this time accompanied by Usha Seraphine herself.
Oh, good.
And the moment Sebastian steps in the room, the hat comes off, revealing the gloriously bald head and the salt and pepper sideburns, and he's sort of arms wide open. Like you get like a loud "ho" as he sort of steps forward, and he goes in for the hug.
Jimena lets it happen, and like while it's happening, she kind of looks over at Rodrigo with like a
You get what you think Rodrigo might be a subtle thumbs up, in the sense that he's like,
Yeah.
If Usha saw it, she makes no mention of it whatsoever. Sebastian puts you down and then immediately grabs Rodrigo, who's not exactly sure what is happening to him at this moment.
And she's like, "Oh, Sebastian, this is my cousin Rodrigo."
Oh yeah, it's it's a full greeting, cheek to cheek,
Oh, wow.
both sides of the face.
Full
He's like,
service.
Rodrigo, yes, please have a seat.
Before the two squads were sent out, I had the idea that for the operation, we might want to try and have the crows already camped out outside the town, and to have their paperwork all signed off by Usha and the governor, like the day of the reveal, and already have a copy of the pardons sent off to Mzabi's associates in Vatican City, so that there's a paper trail of evidence that this is all official now.
In a few days, just get it done. Get it done.
Well,
You've done weirder things.
yeah. I'm like, the crows already know, so as long as they're on board, we can bang this out. It's good.
Yep.
So just remember to mention that in your meetings, that we're pushing this time frame. Basically, we're blitzing the prophet sword.
Sebastian at this point is pulling chairs. As he's doing that, Usha herself. It's hard to outdo Sebastian's for greetings, but you get like a very warm welcome from her as well. She looks tired, but happy to see you. She gets introduced to Rodrigo also, and goes to shake both Jimena and Evine's hands, and just very openly gestures towards the open chairs. More food is being brought to the table. Carlos is burning a trail into the floor. Sebastian is like, Ushia, pull my chair. 1 minute, and then he goes towards the bar and asks a few things of the old man. He's just like, put it on a tray. I will bring it. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. You stay behind the bar. No, you don't need to. I'm gonna slug you.
Ooh, violence.
They sort of look at each other, like the moment looks like it's tense for a second, and then the old man backs down and pushes the tray to him. And he's like,
It's like when people fight over who's going to pay the tab. You're like,
right.
Yeah.
just
That's very much what it looks like. And he's whistling when he comes back to the table with an assortment of drinks that he just like lays in the middle, pulls a chair back next to Usha, and he's like, so I'm always delighted to see any of you come into this restaurant, announced or not. There's always a place for you here. But
When he says any of you,
Yeah.
it's a little sad.
Aw.
Tries not to show it, but Rodrigo notices.
oh, for sure. You see a pause a little bit, and he sort of continues. He's like, but is this a pleasure visit? Is this a business visit? And he sort of leans a little bit towards Jimena, and he's like, not that I would mind either. And then he pulls back a little bit.
She says, well, it is business, but business with you is always a pleasure. And like hides in her hair.
Odysseus like,
he puts a hand.
No, super fucked up hair.
I'm sure Ushia's
He
like,
puts a hand to his
I
heart,
don't need to be here. All right.
and he's like, that is the most beautiful things I have heard in quite a long time. And he pushes a basket of bread your way.
Oh.
And she
knows
blushes
your
and takes a honk of bread to.
I don't know if it's that much of a secret though. So like, but you know, at least he's acknowledged it.
Yeah, no, I mean she's not good at hiding. She thinks she is, but no, it's very obvious.
Transaction.
Evine, he looks at you and says, there's some stronger stuff on the platter. I know Castilian wine is probably not going to tickle you the same as it does Southerners, so feel free.
Excellent.
There's an assortment.
She helped herself.
And he sort of leans back into his chair. Like, Usha just seems amused, like looking at the proceedings. You get a sense that she leads so many of those meetings that she's more than happy to get Sebastian to take the lead here. And he leans back in his chair and he's like, so, Jimena, talk to me. Why are you here?
Oh, is she even going to be able to
She
concentrate
can
on
do it. She finishes chewing, and then
Mostly.
she says, well, we have a plan and a proposition. I have no idea what accent is coming out of my face right now.
I feel that.
But we have a plan and a proposition, but we need your help with it. Specifically you, Madam Seraphine. Would you like to know what this plan is and what proposition goes along with it?
the chair pulls a little bit closer to you. You hear the scrape on the floor as Sebastian is now leaning a little bit closer. He's like, please tell us more.
So, well, no, you would not have heard this yet because we're keeping it secret, but we have brought back. Jimena cannot say his name in a French way, so it would be like
El Capitan.
like El Capitan Montrevilla.
Yeah, that's about right.
And you get a perfect morting from Sebastian. Martin de Landreville is back in the city.
Say, yes, because we went and got him and we brought him back. And then, so to go along with that, we have met with Senor Perez, and
There's
he
an
has
eyebrow.
Yeah, because these are their mortal enemies.
Yeah.
he has agreed that it would be a good idea for San Felipe in particular and Odesseo as a whole, if he, along with your help, since you are technically the person who is in charge, really, if we pardon all the carrion crows and make them part of the town guard so that we can push out the prophet sword. And we would all do that really quickly because is it tomorrow that the thing is happening?
In 2 days.
In 2 days from now? Or
It was in 2 days the previous day.
Yeah,
So
now it's
now would be tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So because there's going to be a big thing tomorrow, and so we were thinking that when it was happening with Inquisitor Juarez, we will reveal that we brought Mondrevilla back, and then we would overthrow the guards and things. But we need you to do like help with the paperwork now, so we can send it off, so that there's like all of this is like in one breath. Like she is, and like her fingers are fiddling together. Like she needs to get all the information out as quickly as possible before she like forgets a detail while it's still like all right in her brain.
It's that memorized list where you're just like,
Yeah. Basically.
Sebastian is sort of leaning back into his chair, where his head is posted, and he's playing with the side of his mustache as you're speaking. And then there's at least a couple of times where he looks straight at Usha, like just directly at her, and she looks back at him, then back at Jimena. And he sort of clears his throat after Jimena is done.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at Usha. She sort of leans forward, like with her wine cup, and she says, "That is quite a lot."
Say,
Governor Perez has agreed to this.
Yes. Because she's very tempted to say because we brought his boyfriend back.
Right.
She's like, yes, because we brought his captain back. And he
still works.
Jimena, you see Sebastian with his glass of liquor, like lean back in his seat, and he looks at Usha, and for a moment, like his eyebrows, like are just,
you might as well have said boyfriend.
Somewhere in the distance.
Yeah.
Right? There's some good, like, yeah, he brought the captain back.
And he says that he basically, I don't know how to phrase this correctly, but like she says, like he said that he like understands that you're the person who's actually in charge, and he hopes there's a place for him when Odesseo becomes free, because he gets that that's a thing that the people want. Yeah.
At this point, Rodrigo is just looking straight at Usha, like she's like, and he understands what this will mean for him if he throws his lot in with us. he will become a pariah, just as we have.
But also, we have something else, Evin.
I was about to say that.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Behind door number 2.
This is the best fucking infomercial.
And in a perfect Avalon accent, which might throw him off momentarily.
Yeah, Jimena even doesn't have that kind of an accent normally.
No,
Talking
she doesn't talk much, but
Gotta use the accent. Yeah, this.
so she leans in and says, "But wait, there's more. Avalon is prepared to stand with you should you pledge your loyalty. You will have the full forces of Elaine's support and armies, navies. Do we call them navies?
Thank you, Richard Iowati.
Usha downs her glass of wine at this point, just straight downs it. Rodrigo's face like just lights up, and then he just shoots up from his seat, and he's like,
Holy shit.
"Give me a second." And he goes back to the bar, and this time comes back with like 2 or 3 bottles that he just like puts on the table. He's like, the Queen Elaine is willing to risk the wrath of the Inquisition in order to aid us. What's the catch?
Only your loyalty to her cause and her crown. Completely optional.
He sort of leans back in his seat and he just looks at Usha like, I'm at a loss. I will admit, I am at a loss. She looks really tired, like for a second, like just rubbing her temples, and
You
then
broke Fusha.
finally she's like, this may be what we have been waiting for a long time. This may also mean war.
You have an arsenal.
And she's right. She sort of sighs a bit, and like the moment seems to stretch like just an uncomfortably long time. And she finally says, "But if war is the price for what we are hoping to accomplish, we owe it to our people to pay it." The Inquisition has worked especially hard these past few months trying to break the back of the liberation movement. And not only that, but break the backs of the people of Odesseo. I am their grande by birth, but it is by choice that I retain my title after the humiliation that my fellow grandes and good King Sandoval has heaped upon me. I stand here as their representatives. And if the people of San Felipe and of Odesseo say no more, then I will carry the flag of the liberation movement in battle if need be. You will have your orders. As of tonight, let it be known that Grande Usha Serafin officially pardons the Carrion Crow of any crimes they might have committed anywhere in the country of Castile, that they are welcome in San Felipe and anywhere else in my Grand Ducado, and that anyone who questions or harbors doubts as this order is more than welcome to take it up to me.
Jimena gets up and is like, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you," and like shakes her hand like vigorously, and then like
She's like, I'm not certain the things are going in the right direction, my dear, but I accept them nonetheless, and please take mine back with you as well.
"Oh, say," and she like kind of turns to Sebastian for a second, like thinks about shaking his hand, and then kind of and then just turns back to the food.
Aw.
Too much.
Am I
You,
supposed to hand over the seal?
well, this will only come into play if there's an official need for Elaine's navy.
Yeah.
And Ucha was tell you as much. She said, please send my best words to Queen Elaine. Tell her that we accept her offer of goodwill and aid, that we will keep her out of Castilian affairs unless we absolutely need her to step in, but nonetheless, this is a debt we intend to repay, whether we need her military support or not. So please pass my word to the Queen, and if we do need those official orders, I will ask them from you at that time. Until then, I think they are safest with you.
I agree. And thank you.
Jimena, you went to shake Ushia's hand and went to get back to your seat. Your butt never touches the chair.
What?
You get lifted off your feet immediately again, and you get a great big bear hug, and you missed one, missed a spot. That's not like you. You're off your game.
All of the sconces in the entire restaurant like flare up.
Floosh. Someone loses a feather on their hat because it was too close.
Rodrigo, like, sort of, he's just been busy with eating like this entire time, and as the sconces like flare up, he does like what you can only assume is like an attack stance, as he's just like, and then he sort of like realizes he's looking silly, and then sees you getting lifted off your feet, and he's like, oh, there's like bread like popping out of his mouth as he says it, and then he's like, and returns to his eating. Yeah, you get propped back into your chair, Jimena, and a cup of wine is thrust in front of you. Evine, you get the stronger spirit bottles like shoved your way. He's like, I apologize. I do not know your taste as much as I should, but take your pick by all means. And if you need anything else, go see the old man back there. He will hook you up.
Many thanks.
Tanks and tanks again.
Yeah, like Usha is basically like, she calls Carlos, who's still busy like loading and offloading plates, and whispers something in his ear. He vanishes for a minute or two and comes back with like a document, a quill, an inkwell, and Usha sort of shifts tables so that her official document is not stained with food, as it's getting a little volatile at this table.
Oh, right. Cheeto dust isn't cool on official documentation.
Right. That's how you dry the seal. It's just, a little sprinkle of Cheeto dust. And she gets to work sort of drafting that document and signing it. Sebastian basically leans towards Evine and says, "Send my good word to Queen Elaine. I admire the woman, surrounded by enemies on all sides. She has my support, if nothing else."
I will indeed, sir.
I'm gonna start eating faster.
Sebastian like sort of drinks a little bit, multiple glasses, and then he leans towards Jimena and says, "There will be a lot for us to do in the coming days and weeks, and we are going to have to coordinate our efforts maybe a little bit more. What would you say if I made you official liaisons to the Grande?"
Woo. Wait, who's she asking?
Jimena.
Oh, I would be honored. And if you think that's a good idea, I wouldn't argue with that. Do you mean all of us, or?
I mean you specifically. I mean, I would love to have the rest of the group here often. Don't get me wrong. You're all a riot, and I know you will be. But I also understand it will not always be possible.
Then yes. Yes, absolutely.
You're Castilian, you're capable, and we wouldn't mind having you around a little bit more often.
Wink, wink.
And he sort of nods towards Usha and then nods back at that Jimena. What say you?
Yes. Yes.
Like a sisters before misters moment.
It is true that I am Castilian, and the only one among us at that. Well, except Rodrigo now. And I guess a couple of the Joses.
You get a hand from Rodrigo.
I am Rodrigo.
I am also Castilian.
I am Rodrigo.
He's like, Rodrigo is Castilian. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I
right.
didn't
Rodrigo
say
is Castilian.
my role play was off.
Oh, Rodrigo's gonna be so much fun.
He's like, then it's done. Usha, you're gonna need one more document. And he sort of goes over to her table. It takes a moment, but you get back one sealed document. And he basically says to both Evine and Jimena, "Give this one to Governor Perez. It should help him when things start to go south." And then another document is brought over to Jimena. Part of your table is getting clean so that you can put it down. And he's like, "If you could put your name here."
Oh.
She's like, do you want the whole thing? Or just...
This line is too small.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, the whole thing.
Castilian documents are sideways so that it can fit the name across.
Right. That's right. He's like,
They just leave an extra like bit of roll there
Yeah.
so that you can roll it down and continue.
he's like, I don't think I've heard the whole thing.
Oh, he wants your whole name.
Well, okay. So she signs it. Maria Jiménez de Guadalupe de Madrigal del Valle. She's like 8 names.
That's about right.
Yep.
He picks it up and like it's like, beautiful. It is done. You and I are partners.
Whoa.
At the word partner, she like almost faints a little. Not enough. Yeah, like
someone get this girl a priest. Whew.
Rodrigo approves of this partnership.
Right. right? You got the Rodrigo approves that pops at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
An unlocked achievement.
Right. Yep.
Little trophy appears. It's got a Rodrigo's thumbs up on it.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's doing a Buddy Christ.
Yup.
Yeah.
He basically gives you one more document for you to keep, and he's like, if you need to reach me in an emergency,
This
the
is my
protocol is in here. Read it, then burn it.
Hey,
Okay.
Committed to
Oh
memory.
wow. He not only give you his number, he asked you to do your favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
And he sort of steps up at this point, and he's like, this is a good night. Don't let Usha's tired face and hunched shoulders tell you otherwise. She's elated. And she's finishing like one document, and he's like, I am. We can't all be like you, like constantly emoting. Like, it's just- yes, I am overjoyed. There's a lot for us to do.
That'll be good.
And he sort of claps his hand, like it hurts your ears a little bit because he's just no restraint whatsoever. And he's like, yes, there is much work to be done. And I assume for you as well. I have a few things to prepare for. And he grabs his hat from the chair, puts it elegantly on his hand. Jimena, you get the hand kiss.
Oh.
And we lost Lisa. There we go.
The blip. So-
But yeah, you get the hand kiss and the bow, and he basically says, "You and I will be in contact sooner than later."
Ew.
And so he steps up to Usha and says, his like facade drops for a moment, and he says, your destiny is in sight. I told you we would get to this moment.
I mean, which destiny are we talking about here, though?
And she, Usha, sort of nods and says, I know. You've been the biggest and sometimes lone supporter of this cause, it feels. So when we accomplish it, we will together. And she looked to Evine and Jimena, and it said, that includes you as well. We would not be here without you. You will be sharing in on our success. She steps up at this point and says, feel free to help yourself to the food and drinks as much as you need, as much as you want. This area will not see any guests other than you tonight.
Dangerous proposal.
But there is much for us to be done. Sebastian and I have to prepare a few things, and we'll provide you some additional support if you plan to make an entrance tomorrow. We will be there. She bows courteously. She actually goes to Evine and actually extends a hand and says, sends my best to Queen Elaine. And tell her, if we make it through this, Odesseo stands with her.
I will tell her just that.
And she sort of bows and turns on her heels, and both her and Sebastian leave the room. Carlos brings more food.
Jimena
even though there is less table at the people at the table now, more food arrives.
They know the customer.
Yeah, they know the clientele.
Mhm.
Right. So you're pretty much welcome to stay here for a while longer, partaking, enjoying the food and drinks before returning to the ship. And I believe this will be a good stopping point for tonight. We will start next session with the chat with Inquisitor Mazabi, and then maybe a public appearance.
So weird.
Yeah.
We spend so much time being out of the public eye.
I know.
Well, we don't need to be in the public eye still.
That's quite true.
We're still crafting machinations. Megan, are we probably good for tomorrow night?
To my knowledge, yes.
Cool. We'll
Which is
we'll send out
always
social if we get that confirmation. Cool.
Right. Megan, that is the state of all of our games regardless.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, yes.
All good.
Are there any unusual circumstances? Unexpected earthquake? I don't know.
Hey, come now. If the end of the world did not manage to get in the way of this crew, nothing will.
All right. So for anyone else who joins on this now or later, good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.